I'd like to show you something.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm
You have to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky?
Woo! How are you all doing tonight? And for those of you who maybe don't have Twitter or X or Twix, as a drink with crazy would like to say, or if you somehow missed a community post, you are not seeing this photo on accident. As we had said last show at the end of last episode, that next week's movie, which would be tonight, would be White Men Can't Jump. But I'm sure by now you see this photo. We had a change of heart thanks to Mark D with a C pitching the idea of why not doing a Carl Weathers movie. He brought up Action Jackson, and I'm so glad he did. And even though it was a quick change, it seemed like a lot of you gained sight and wind of that, and that's awesome. But we decided, you know what? Let's fucking do it. It made sense, and we've never really gotten to do this. So I just want to say, like, this is crazy because for me, it's like Toxic Tuesday, the foundation of it was started on, 80s, 70s, 90s action movies. And a lot of the movies, the great toxic, male movies we have covered throughout this whole spiel, a lot of them have featured one Carl Weathers. So whether it's Predator, obvious ones, I know. The Rocky movies, obvious, I know. Maybe the inevitable Happy Gilmore Day, obvious, I know as well. But it was like, oh, hey, what about Action Jackson where he gets to be Jericho Jackson? So, yeah, I'm so glad Mark brought it up, and it was an easy decision to make. And obviously, it was a tragedy that happened, but we're not going to make this a night of sorrowness. We're going to make this a night of fun and laughs, and, of course, lots of respects and tributes. We'll definitely like to see all the favorite Weathers moments in the chat, of course, on the panel, as we discuss this very overlooked flick from Mr. Weathers titled Action Jackson. So, welcome to the show, everybody. It is episode 120 of Toxic Tuesday. Glad to have you here. I know there'll be a lot of you coming later from Midnight's Edge After Dark. There's a little bit of a longer showtime because some big event happened that obviously caused the show to go longer, which is understandable. But for those of you, and there's a good amount of you here, who are here early, I appreciate the hell of that because I can't say I blame you if you were still over at me. But thank you for giving us your time early. What's up, Emperors and FQAT 2005? Yeah, Nomino, Animal Confusa, me and my monkey, Davina Duckworth, Darth Viewer, Dave C. Hey, commenting is dangerous. What's up, dude? Keely, Chow, Putin's cat. Hello, hello. Well, RJ Godzilla 81, Vulcan lives. Pinochet's helicopter tours. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, dudes. Yeah, Gonzalo Bergali. Yeah. You summed up just right then. That's a nice celebration. That's exactly what we are going to do. Let's bring in our fellow dudes in the panel. We'll start off with Mikito Simple friend himself, who has just done his own show a few hours ago. How's it going, Dustin?
I'm doing wonderful. Oh, I'd say I'm excited to be here, hang out with you guys, all the wonderful panel people, the chat, but this is a solemn event, but still exciting nonetheless because of what this man was able to bring us over the years. Like, you can't throw a stick at a pile of action movies and not hit 6 that he was in, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely influential. He struck a chord with everyone. I mean, Carl Weathers has been a part of my life, my movie watching life since I was, I guess, 7, maybe. That's just my earliest guess. I could be 6, maybe even. Yeah, it's like for as long as I remember movies, I remember Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys.
He was in so many movies. I would probably go back to, Internet Movie Database and be like, oh shit, he was in that too. He's one of those guys. Like, you've seen him in so many movies, and he's just been a staple. He's just been, a constant, and it sucks.
Yeah, no, it really does. He's definitely, once again, he is one of those guys that he entertained all the world over. And he actually, like, I've not really, I guess you could say, felt much. I'm not saying that as a dig or a knock as far as a lot of celebrities who in the last few years. There's a few, but this is definitely one of the ones where I feel it hits more, and maybe it has something to do with being around, an iconic, movie star as often as he has. I'm sure maybe that's why it hits a little differently. It's the emotional attachment. I don't know, but yeah, I definitely felt this one. I'm like, no, and then once Mark brought up the idea, I'm like, yeah, we have to do this. It's the least we can do. I mean, the root of Toxic Tuesday, a lot of those roots come from stuff that Carl Weathers was in. It wouldn't be right if we didn't do something. It's just one.
Just like I think the very first movie that I remember him being in is from Predator. Watching that in elementary school, probably way younger than I should have been watching that movie, and that Arnold and him just, dude, I was like, that was the coolest shit when I was a kid.
It was. It really was.
He was so jacked.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, I think I posted on my Instagram. Every time I see it scene, still to this very damn day, I think I still feel the earth shake a little when you see that scene happen. I feel the earth move a little. That's how powerful that is. Oh yeah. Oh, pre-cum.
Yeah. So I mean, I know we're all here with our grief boners, and it's okay. It's okay to be aroused at how sad you are. You've come to the right place.
I agree. Thank you for being here, sir. It's that 70s rock fan.
I'd say good evening, but I guess it's not a good evening in many ways. We're here for a somber occasion, but good evening anyway.
We're gonna make it good.
It is a sad night, a totally unexpectedly sad night. Just didn't see that coming. He's such a great big part of our 70s and 80s, particularly Carl Weathers.
Yeah,
several of our all-time legendary favorite movies and scenes. All I can say is R.I.P. Carl, and thank you for all those great memories. Thank you, brother.
Agreed.
And that image of him and Rocky with the fists.
Oh, dude.
That will live forever. Real. That's the way life should be.
He's been immortalized in our Toxic Tuesday. I mean,
that's
this clip right here. He's immortalized right there. Yeah. That hug now has more meaning than ever. It already had a homoerotic meaning, but now it has a whole other emotional.
Just the scene of the two fists clasping each other with the arms like that. That's the way our world should be.
Agreed.
So thank you, Carl, for all those great memories.
I agree. Yeah. No, thank you for partaking in this occasion, 70s, and
it's my pleasure.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's bring on just another red shirt.
We're gathered here tonight to pay tribute to a great actor, Carl Weathers. Please open your Book of Common Prayer to page 135. Wait a minute. Oh, sorry, wrong show. This is Toxic Tuesday. That's not how we roll. We're here to appreciate Carl Weathers in a movie that I'd never seen before. And I was like, whoa, Mad's going to be here. 4 best things about this movie. You know what they are.
Oh.
Vanity's left, Vanity's right, Sharon Stone's left, and Sharon Stone's right. That's it. Sorry, Carl. You don't get top billing in your own movie.
Red Shirt, I'm so glad you could be here for this. It sounds like you had an experience experiencing Action Jackson.
Absolutely.
I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on this super 80s movie, sir. And welcome to Arrivals, Jonah Hex, Ruben Christopher Haynes, Soul Assassin, Mr. Zenna, 1994. All right, let's bring in the man who makes all the glory of the show happen. And I do have to emphasize the glory. And of course, the man who brought up the idea, because he does deserve all the credit. Mark, thank you for being here, sir.
Oh, glad to be here. Yep, and well, I guess I can take some credit for it. But it was a no brainer. Someone else would have come up with that idea, but yeah, it didn't seem right to do. No offense to white men who can't jump like me, but you gotta do some Carl Weathers tribute. The other great movie too is Happy Gilmore. That he's got a great supporting role.
We'll get there down the line.
We'll get there down the line. But if anyone wants to, watch some more Carl Weathers movies, yeah, this I 99% sure I saw this in the movie theaters when it came out. One of the few people I think it did it. I mean, it did pretty well at the box office, and yeah, I mean, he was such a great guy, and Stallone. If you saw Stallone's Instagram tribute, he said Rocky wouldn't have been as big of a success, or maybe might not have worked without Carl Weathers. So you always need that bad guy, and of course, in those movies, he morphed into a good guy, and Rocky's best friend probably. And but that's why those movies work so well. Is one of the things, if you don't have that Apollo Creed, that charisma that he had, and the physique and the athleticism. I mean, he played a few years in the NFL. Don't forget that. So yeah, it wasn't as easy back in the day to have a studio, bank on maybe a black action hero. And this movie made a lot of money, and probably would have gotten a sequel if it wasn't for the studio going bankrupt. I think in the rights issue, reading about it. But no, Weathers has a lot of charisma. And I can't believe he passed away. When you see on Twitter, whenever you see someone trending, they should say something on Twitter X like, person is trending but not dead. That should be, if Elon's listening, that should be.
Oh, I know, right?
I
Because
hate
anytime
that
you
when
see a
someone's
name you haven't seen in a while, it's the first thing that comes to your mind is,
Yeah.
great. I go through the same thing, Mark.
I'm like, oh crap! Every time I see Shatner's name trending, God bless, love.
Or like
love
if they're gonna
William
trend it,
Shatner.
it needs to be like RIP, trending RIP. You know what I mean? Like so we can get that gut wrench right away.
Yeah, I agree.
'Cause
Dustin,
then
well
you know.
stated.
And then like today when I saw someone, I was going through Twitter. I've been kind of under the weather, if you can tell from my voice. I've been
Yeah, I
not
saw you
as
canceled your Sunday show, which is
yeah, I'm
something you
feeling
don't do.
yeah, usually I don't do that. So I feel a little bit better, but if I mute, that's because I'm sneezing. I apologize. But yeah, Toby Keith, I was going through Twitter. I'm like, what's all this shit with Toby Keith? And I'm like, what happened? I didn't even know he had cancer. So God rest Toby Keith, who great patriot, wrote a lot of great patriotic songs, and also don't forget Red Solo Cup, which is one of the best drinking songs of all time. But yeah, it's not what you and Weathers too is a surprising thing for everyone, right? No one knew that he was sick. I guess he passed away in his sleep, at age 76. But yeah, it sucks. Yeah, so we'll pay a nice tribute to him tonight, and yeah, he'll be remembered forever. I mean, great American icon of the action movies.
Oh, hell yes.
And you've got to hand it to him for Chubbs in Happy Gilmore. You got to hand it to him.
Yeah, we got to. Yeah, he was great.
Well,
I have a bunch of Happy Gilmore clips from when Bob Barker passed away, but I didn't get a chance to clip any of those. Andy Randy was probably
Andy
Chubb's
Randy's
biggest fan.
favorite movie.
Yeah. Speaking of handies, no, Mark, thank you for being here and thank you for taking the time to do this. I know, considering you're obviously not at your A game, I do appreciate it, sir.
I'll try.
So
Thanks. Yep. But Mad will appear.
Oh, Handy Randy will be around somewhere, wherever he is. Keely Chow, who's been a member for 4 months, says, after White Man Can't Jump, the next sports comedies we should do are Major League 2, Happy Gilmore, and The Waterboy. At least one of those is in consideration.
She showed me
we'll
your
just say
boobies.
stay tuned. Stay
Was-
tuned, Keely Chow.
Was Major League done as a Toxic Tuesday?
We
as a
did
Toxic
one.
Tuesday?
We did Major
We
League.
did the
We
first
did
one?
Major League.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
did do Major League. Yes, we did. All right.
Oh,
we got-
yeah, Major League 2 is fun, if only because they make so much fun of Wesley Snipes.
yeah, I do think the sequel should be done. I am actually in agreement on that one. Before you bring in our next three guests, I just want everyone to pay attention to the upper right corner on my side. It's from my perspective, it's on the left, but to the viewer, it's on your right corner. That is the Toxic Tuesday logo created by this man right here, Backdoor Gerry.
All right.
Nice logo there, sir. Thank you for your hard work.
No problem, man. I'll give you one that's got a little black shading behind it so it'll show up better.
Okay. I like it. So, but if you want to, I will not stop you.
It's very nice. You've got some talent. You should try and use that.
I know.
Maybe you could get a job as an artist
Look, man,
somewhere.
I've got to do something, dude, because this, giving hand just paying the bills. And I'm ambidextrous.
We've heard that you're ambiguous, that's for sure. And ambidextrous.
Ambiguously gay. Yeah, it's true.
I knew you were bidextrous, but you know what I mean.
No, I'm tridextrous because I'll try anything.
Wow.
I heard you came out as a lesbian.
Well, I do know this because I actually looked through my,
Did he or
all
did
my
he,
friends'
does he identify
favorite
as
lists. I looked through all my friends' favorite lists, and I saw that this is Brian's number one favorite homoerotic film that's not gay porn.
I'd have to think about that because it might not be.
one?
I'm not sure I agree because there's many other homoerotic films that are equally as good.
And I made a backdoor video just for Mark and
Articus,
Nick
for
Weiser.
instance.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Any
Very
movie
nice.
about
That's what that
gladiators.
video I sent to you guys in
So is
private
this like
chat.
your Backdoor Industries movie?
It could be. Hey, how
I
are you
mean-
getting into the business? Through the back door.
Yeah. So I had to write on your comment that between you and Mike Barron, I'm like, oh, that's a perfect opportunity to write that about because you say, hey, I'll get you around. I'm like, yeah, hey, look, Mike's gonna get you through the back door. He's probably like, what the
I thought
hell?
Toxic's comment was funny.
I have to see what Toxic Man Flu wrote because I have no idea what he wrote. But I'm sure it's even
Anima,
more
by the
gay.
way, you would not believe this. My girlfriend has the greatest sense of catching backdoor comments in movies and TV shows that I've ever seen. She's always watching for backdoor.
I've always meant to ask, is your favorite movie Rear Window?
As a matter of fact, it is on my top 10 list.
Wow, so it's like a sport. We just find backdoor clips all the time.
Behind the Back Door would be your
Behind
movie.
the back-
That's all we do. We look for that. When I'm watching movies and stuff with Anima, she's watching and she go, "This is great backdoor comment here, Gary. You
And
must
as
record it."
Radioactive says, Looking Out My Back Door by Creedence is probably in your top 10 songs of all time.
His bad moon's always rising.
Like,
That means always driving.
That took a little bit to get out, but I think I was successful.
That was perfectly timed, Dustin. Well, Gerry, I'm happy you could be here. Tonight's going to be huge. It's going to be diabolical.
Huge.
And
be
of course,
huge.
it's going to be memorable and, dare I even say, magical for the great and late Carl Weathers.
And let's not forget the overly elaborate ninjas.
I love my ninjas. My ninjas were so good in this movie.
What the?
By the way, I have to say that for the first time in 24 years, I was able to have fried chicken and watermelon with Carl Weathers for the first time on February 2nd. God bless that man. I'm so happy he made it back up here. Oh, how's the panel doing tonight? My name is Kid Sable. I run a very clean hotel. How are all of you tonight?
Oh, we're doing, Kid Sable. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. I just got to see my buddy Carl give a hug to that nice woman who had those beautiful left and rights, and she showed him off in this movie. That was so nice. I like it. I hope you kids are ready for this. I'm going to do this the whole time.
I
All right.
I actually really hope you do last the entire time doing that.
I have came and I am going to do my best. I thank you, Mr. Nick Weiser.
Oh, well, thank you for being here, sir. It only makes sense to have other greats like you to help celebrate Mr. Carl Weathers' life. So thanks for being here, sir. And before we bring in our last guy, Pinochet's helicopter tours for $5 says it really hits you that life is finite. As I get older, I notice artists who have performed their craft move on before we, who love them already. Ooh, yeah. Man, true words have never, not been spoken on this show for real. Pinochet, thanks for $5, but yeah, do that. That's true. That cuts off. So that's a cut, man. Jeez, yeah, but you're right though. Yeah, life is, well, for lack of a better terms, fragile. That's why we try to enjoy ourselves here on Toxic Tuesday. That's why, Tom will try to get his Sunday show going with the countdowns or having guys like Mr. Berger on for the trivia night. That's why having a lot of these types of shows is important to balance out all the crazy and the bad, because we got to enjoy what we have. It can't be all dimmer and glimmer and doom and gloom. So this is to providing that little light in the sky. And welcome to Toxic Tuesday for his first time ever, Mr. Graham Cass. He is the lead bozo. Sir, how are you doing?
Greetings. I don't know why it still says lead bozo. I'll have to figure something out. But did anybody else also think that in this movie, when Sharon Stone was found in Action Jackson's apartment, you kind of saw her with no shirt on, even though she was dead, and think like, I still would. I don't know if that was just me, but I was like, if
somebody took it off after she was dead. I just want to point that out.
If they're buried close together, a necromancer can raise a family.
Oh, God.
You son of a bitch.
That is it right there. That's
Dude,
the world.
Dude.
Once again, I think I saw the outside. I think I saw a tree shaking outside.
I bought a patch online that was it said "you son of a bitch" and had a buff black arm and a buff Austrian arm, and I sewed it onto one of my backpacks when I used to take into work. One day I walked in and they kind of looked at me and they're like, "Dude, you can't have that. It says son of a bitch." And I looked at all of them and I was like, "You sons of bitches, every last one of you." I'll have to go find that backpack somewhere. The Apple corporate folks are not so cool. They were like, "You can't have that here." And I was like, "Fuck you can't."
Well, hey man, thanks for partaking in with us. I know we were originally supposed to do White Man Can't Jump, but the fact that you're still cool about being on with the change and talking Action Jackson, I greatly appreciate it.
Thanks for the invite, man. That's excellent. Always down to talk some Carl Weathers, one of the most underrated mustaches of the 80s.
Oh, dude, what a stash. And there's one scene in this movie, which we'll get to later when we get to the slideshow, where his sweat almost rivals Terry Crews's sweat in The Expendables. I'm sure you guys on the panel know what moment I'm talking about in the movie, but there was one part
sweaty movie.
That sweat was like, wow. I swear they buttered him up before they put him in chains. I think Mark knows what scene I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, they had a spritzer, like they had in Rambo. They had a person, on the crew that had the water bottle going around spraying everyone. So
but they don't use water; they use baby oil.
No, they use Terry Crews sweat. They bottle it. And use it.
Now you gotta know, that this movie does have a sequel, right?
Technically, yes. Technically, yes, it does. In some countries, it was called Action Jackson 2. No, he should have had. I know there was an intention to have a series of movies.
They filmed a movie
for Jericho Jackson.
They filmed a movie in 1990 where an oil field man out of Texas went down to Australia, and they called it the last blaxploitation movie, but they also said it's the first exploitation movie. It's called Hurricane Smith.
Yep.
It's on IMDb. It's a 4.3, but really it's an 8.6. It's a damn good movie. Yeah, we'll watch it sometime. It's a good
We'll
movie.
have to talk about that one too, all in good time, because sometimes when now I look at some of the numbers, when I see like a 4 or a 3 or even a 5, I'm like, I wonder if there's a chance that might be actually worth watching now. When I see the IMDb, it seems like nowadays that's like more and more becoming a badge of honor. When you see that number becoming a low score, it's like, okay, maybe I need to check that out. I think I now compromise. It's like, okay, maybe a 1 out of 10 is where I draw the line at. Maybe that's where
I draw my line at 2, at 2.9. I don't watch those, but I will watch a 3 every day. And I mean, we got canon films we watch, and some of those are just absolutely terrible, but they're good guilty pleasures.
You should watch 2 1.5s in a row instead of a 3. You get 2 movies.
Gerry uses what is this?
Math is so very important in entertainment.
I think the rumor is
here
the
comes
way
the
that
mead raid. Oh, here he goes.
Mead is there.
Ethel, cut up another watermelon. We're gonna get some meat people in here.
Don't forget to hit them like and thumbs up.
the rumor is that Carl Weathers became as jacked. I'm sorry, that Terry Crews became as jacked as he did is because he got a drop of Carl Weathers' sweat in his bottle when he was a baby.
It's pure testosterone.
Oh, that I
Pure
was gonna say
test.
he had testosterone injected into his bottle. Who needs breast milk when you can have testosterone milk? Seriously, it's way better, and paid off for him. Became one of the most manliest men in all of simple existence. Like that, seriously.
Kind of has
Audrey
like a hint of hazelnut too.
Oh, dude, hint of hazelnut too. Ooh. Hazily, I see there. That's a little bit nutty there, Graham.
A little bit of baby batter on the back.
So, okay. For the time being, we have before as the slideshow starts. I just want to give for those, whether it's on the panel or in the chat, if you are drinking tonight, I want to give this one out to Mr. Carl Weathers. So, all I want to say is, Mr. Weathers, thank you for the memories. Thank you for kicking ass for all of these years. Your time and energy is admirable, and you are an absolutely dedicated man at your craft. And our movies and our culture, American culture, a way of greatness and action will not be the same without you, sir. From obviously Action Jackson to the Hurricane Smiths to the Happy Gilmores to the Rocky movies. This one's you, sir. Thank you for your time. Shall we get on with the slideshow now, guys? Cheers.
Cheers.
Rest in peace, Carl.
God bless
right.
Mr. Weathers. Yep.
Let's do it as dudes. Oh, wow.
Let me go back to the beginning here.
No. You're good, man. Ooh, look at it. Look at that shot there.
There we go.
Oh yeah. Bring on the slideshow there, Mark. Come on.
Wait. I'm doing 2 things at once. Hold on.
It's okay. I'll put this thing
No,
on.
Yep, I'm good. Let me just saving some.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it looks like we ain't the only ones drinking that good. That's what I like to see. Yeah, good. That's what's up, guys. It's what it's all about. Getting that work in, getting the drinks on for the legend. So yeah, obviously 1988, this had come out, and this was obviously, as I said right before our giant barrage of people came in. This is just as 80s as Cobra was. I think 70s can back me. It's very 80s in a little bit of a different sense, but it's still pure.
Firmly peak 80s for sure.
Yeah. Man, because it's the look of it's the look, the feel, how you feel a soundtrack would be. Obviously, that mustache of Carl Weathers is super 80s, like the testosterone, the muscles, the Terry Crews sweat.
Mary Ellen Trainor, she's more 80s than 80s is. Look at that.
Sharon Stone, who was in every action movie, even though she had never really had too prominent of a role in all of them, she kind of just existed in a lot of them.
Well, this is before she was in the movie. What was it? Go to Mars with Arnold.
Total Recall.
Get your
Total
ass to
Recall. Thank
Mars.
you.
Total
So she's the nobody here, but she's not a nobody. If you know what I mean, yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
she's
great
very
cast in this movie.
is very young looking here. I think this is the first movie, earliest movie I've seen her in.
Yeah,
And the only
thing I can-
mustache in the 1980s that could touch Carl Weathers' mustache was Tom Selleck's.
That's yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
dude, Tom Selleck was in my neighborhood last week. I'll just say
Oh
that.
wow!
Tom Selleck was in my dream last night.
No.
There's
Whoa.
isn't that a fight from Rocky or
How
Rocky 2?
romantic. He was in your
On the
dream.
TV?
Man,
The
that
wet
is
one at that,
something
boys.
else. Woo! I like that. And there's our again. Want to recognize that guy there? That guy's been in a few flicks. We've all seen that guy in quite a few. He was in Red Heat. You remember Red Heat? Arnold and Belushi.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was the first Toxic Tuesday, I think, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, I
Red
think
Heat?
it was the very first ever Toxic Tuesday. He was also in Lethal Weapon as well. He was also in Lethal Weapon, but yeah, that was definitely one of the ones for him. I was just like, hey, it's that one guy, but this is a hell of an intro. I was like, man, you got these ninja guys popping up from the top of the roof. Yeah, Robert Anderson. You beat me to Biff. Yeah, Tom Wilson. So Robert Anderson, I want to mention something about your comment. Biff, aka Tom, he comes to Illinois. He does comedy shows out here, and I've had people who went and they say he's actually awesome live. One of my buddies said he's so good that he said he didn't even swear once. And if he did, it may have been keyword if, it may have been like he said damn once. And I don't mind vulgarity. I mean, Toxic Tuesday is a very degenerate show, so I don't necessarily mind it. But I do have a certain respect and admiration for anyone who can pull off doing that, because that's not like something you can just do all the time. Especially nowadays, it almost feels like it's the expectation, not the exception. But it seems like he is one of the exceptions to it, even though it was a lot more commonplace way back when than the Land Before Time.
Yeah, like a comedian that can work clean is something to really enjoy too. But I like a comedian that, like, if you're going to use a lot of vulgarity, to use it to your advantage and not just shock value. Like when you can wind it and weave it all together, and it just adds to something and not just saying whatever.
Like Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh, Andrew Dice Clay, he's more Andy Kaufman than people think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people don't realize that he's actually more like Andy Kaufman, and he's up there trolling you with his own act.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, was the cause of death for this guy being blown up by a grenade launcher or the fall, which killed him?
Oh, the fall.
If you were doing the autopsy, what would you say?
Too close to call.
Well, actually, I've examined the strip of flesh that's left, and
I mean, in the 80s, I would assume either cocaine or AIDS.
That's right.
You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that. That's another thing that's super 80s about this movie is the way people die. People just, when they die, they freaking die, man.
That guy was not escaping that.
They straight up either blow up, they get set on fire, like they straight up, like, I was like, man, these are some duds, dude. Like, this is like, oh, you're gonna die, bitch.
There's a string of really good ones later in the movie when in the sweat scene. It's like a good 3 or 4 minutes where it's like one after the next, and I'm like, damn, these are getting more and more 80s per death.
Yeah,
pretty fucking.
There's a lot of overkill in this movie.
Oh yeah,
well, I don't just throw him off the building. I set him on fire and throw him off the building.
One of the guys, there is one of the henchmen that gets it later in the flick, and I remember seeing him explicitly and thinking, what the fuck is up with that guy's hair? But then when he meets his demise, his hair makes all the difference, and I'm like, oh, that's why, because his hair is on fire, just flopping around, and it's awesome.
You're talking about the blonde dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is nostalgic.
I made fun of that the first time I saw it. Like, he from behind, he looks like a woman.
Sweet ass. I mean,
are you talking about Craig
movie,
Nelson?
No,
Yeah.
it's one of the henchmen towards the
Oh,
end.
the guy who looked like Ozzy when he was in Black Sabbath's early days when Ozzy had
I think that
I
one
straight up
DJ.
thought about Ozzy when I saw that. I'm like, he looks like Ozzy when he was in Sabbath early on. Remember Ozzy had that weird perm hair?
Oh
I was
yeah.
just like, he looks straight up like
That
him with that hairdo.
1980s middle school science teacher hair.
This is a nostalgic movie for the days when there was a motor industry in Detroit.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
nostalgia.
Any
Back
kind of industry in Detroit.
They had
Yeah.
jobs in Detroit.
A
Other
time
than a
we could
murder
have a lot more
industry.
movies in Detroit as well.
Hmm.
Because
Don't forget
nowadays it's so bad you can't even film a movie in Detroit. Nowadays it's that bad.
We tried
For
filming
real.
True Romance Part 2, and instead of having a movie, we had to have everybody go to the hospital because they all got tetanus from all those discarded heroin needles.
Yeah. It's been dangerous to film anything in Detroit for quite a few years. Just ask Jeremy Clarkson.
They missed a
Everything gets filmed
cameo.
in Georgia anyway.
They missed a cameo opportunity there. They could have had the cop in the streetcar, or the metro car being RoboCop.
All right.
Yeah, that would have been good.
We're gonna play.
pussy at your pants since your mother helped you move in. They ought to call your place the House of Wax.
We're gonna do- all right. While we're chatting, while we're all chatting on the panel, I want to do something for our chat since we got a giant crowd in here. Holy crap. I wanted to do some trivia. No Googling. Who is the performer, not the writer, but the performer for the Action Jackson song on the movie Action Jackson? Who is the performer? Let's see if anyone can guess that. I know there's almost 200 of you. You can't tell me not at least one of you knows. I hope you. It's a catchy tune too. Straight up catchy
Scout's
tune.
honor, none of them will ever look it up on the internet.
Yeah.
No, not using the internet.
Taylor Swift.
Definitely has some good tunes.
Oh.
I agree.
Don't tell Toby Keith. Daisy wrote Sly Stallone.
Toby just rolled into heaven.
It was Pat Boone.
Jackson song, guys.
Saw Toby Keith walking around here earlier. He's having a hell of a time.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. Oh man, that would Jennifer Lawrence.
Who is that?
Dua Lipa.
Oh, you guys are freaking funny. I like the. I mean, it's almost like I was just like, okay, I don't know, whatever. Okay, no. All right, I'll give it about 10 more seconds if I want Steven Seagal, Prince.
It's Pat Boone.
Oh, well, guys, it turns out actually it happens to be the performer credited is Madam X.
No relation
Madam
to Director
X.
X, I take it.
Yeah. The writer of the song would be Bernadette Cooper. So there's you go. Thanks for playing. We may have not got it.
Didn't Madonna once do an album called Madam X? Just
I
saying.
think that was her book, wasn't it? Her book.
Was it?
called
I'm
that?
just saying there's something to do with Madonna. I'm not saying it's her, but she
I
was.
don't know.
Yeah, maybe she's the mistress of Malcolm X.
I don't know. But you know what I do know? We got 10 huge, and I mean huge gifted memberships. Like
Huge.
from Radioactive. Radioactive, thank you for gifting 10 memberships, sir. I do greatly appreciate it.
Somebody
Yeah.
pocketbook.
Thank you.
Want to thank you so much for doing so. And if you could just open your prayer books to chapter 3, page 46, and we will now
We'll be sending that collection plate around.
Dude, go back to that line where it says keep your dick on, kid. Seriously. You're probably just us kids. Keep your dick on, kid.
Apparently, Madam X was actually 3 girls, and it was a girl group from from Nolans, actually, according to the interwebs.
Well, if that guy was trying to dish out to the lady, and all of a sudden she freaking mollywopped his dingling with her leg. I was like, wow, she fucking leveled him in the balls because she was trying to be all creep towards him.
Well, he was just trying to get some of that 80s strange But did you notice when they were bringing this guy into the police station after he tried to rob that lady and take her purse, when they were explaining Action Jackson, one of the lines that they said is the rumor is that his mother got molested by the Sasquatch and that's why he's born. And I kept thinking, damn, dude, that's fucking Sasquatch. That's the man right there.
Yeah.
And it really surprised me they used the M word instead of the banged by or fucked by.
Yes.
And by the way, I just got to let you know, I'm the first person to use the fuck word tonight.
You're the first person to use the F word tonight. Oh, holy crap, we have gone without stream. What the fuck, dude? I'm almost kind of embarrassed of myself. I'm chat to the 127 people in here.
I'm ashamed of you too.
I'm ashamed of me too, and I'm sorry that I didn't swear sooner, but I promise to, as SJWs like to say, I promise to do better and swear more. Okay? So we're going to be okay. We're going to redeem it. And Listless Receptions, she donated a huge membership as well.
Huge! Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you, Listless Receptionist. Appreciate that. And Graham, just so you know, I'm posting these on here just so that way we don't get as hit often.
Clutch. Okay, very good.
Yeah, there's a purpose behind that.
I'm going to get that Listless Receptionist.
I love it. As soon as our man gets to the desk, he's like, "You're Action Jackson," because he's being built on a tall tale. You better watch out for this guy. This guy will be the guy that gets you. And all of a sudden, for the rest of the movie, he gets like very stunned. It's kind of like when a thug sees Batman. No matter how much they hear about the story, every time they see Batman, they're kind of like, "Oh no, it's the Batman." That's it. He's that guy, but with Action Jackson. Oh man, I love that, and that's his part for the rest of the movie. It's great.
I love that haircut. Look at that. That is the white boy haircut right there.
Dude, that haircut is so I know that's not 80s. That is, I don't know what I guess you could say that's the 30s brought into the 80s. I mean, you tell me. I don't know. He does not pull out the look there. He just does
it's just a white guy whose wife probably recently left him, so he's disheveled.
Yeah, there was no hairstylist. That's how he came into work.
Yeah, that's the $5 special down at the local barbershop.
Fantastic Sam, baby.
Holy crap, you guys are just doing memberships left and right. We got a Connie Cleary. Welcome to the channel. Became a new member, but she didn't just become any member. She didn't just become any member, but she became Connie Cleary became
by the way,
balls to the wall member. Thank you very much, Connie Cleary. I do appreciate it.
By the way, Brian, I did a deep dive and learned that his earliest role as a villain, Craig T. Nelson, was the voice of the Dick Monster in Flesh Gordon.
Really?
Ooh,
is that legit?
Yeah.
Wow. I'd heard that and I didn't even know it was him.
1974, dude.
I did not know that was him. That wins the trivia prize for the next decade. That's incredible.
Yeah, if you go to IMDb and click the all the way to view all of his stuff as an actor, it's listed as the 6th credit in his career.
Is something to know. Because his
mother was molested by Bigfoot, and Jackson is their mutant offspring.
There it is.
It's a fun
Anima was totally shocked when I said, "Yeah, that's Biff from Back to the Future."
Funny enough, my mom got molested by Bigfoot, and I'm not anywhere near as buff as Action Jackson.
That is incredible, Flesh Gordon. I might have to watch it again.
Have you seen
that? Well, you're gonna have to, because hint, that's gonna become a Toxic Tuesday. To talk about within the next month or so. I don't want to give out the exact date, but yeah, if there's a Flash Gordon listener out there, a fan, we will be talking about Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon. Oh, we should go all the way with it and do.
Yeah,
Flash
because
Gordon
they had
too.
some of the guys in Industrial Light and Magic that did that film, the effects.
Flesh Gordon 2 at the Memory Mountains.
It'd be nice if we actually got Flash Gordon on the show to talk about Flash Gordon. I'm just saying. I know he had someone do a comment.
Is he still alive?
Oh yeah,
Adam
he was on
Jones,
the
yeah.
Critical Drinkers show about 2 years ago.
No, I'm talking about the dude from Flash Gordon.
Oh.
Let's
Sorry.
get our films.
I'm getting my
straight.
we gotta
Talking
get our flesh and flesh
flesh
straight.
with
We
an
gotta
E.
get this. We gotta get this correct.
Yeah, his name is Jason Williams that played it, and I don't know if he's still alive, man.
Are you still alive? How's your back door doing?
Doesn't show he's alive. It just
It's
gives
empty.
his bio.
Gary, it's you know what you say you were disappointed in us for not saying shit like fuck and ass, but you haven't put anything in your butt yet. And it's 45 minutes into the show. Now who
Sharon,
needs to do better now?
I went Sharon in my butt.
Are you sure about that?
No, more importantly, dead Sharon Stone in my butt.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
brute. That sounds like a Cannibal Corpse type of thing. Are you sure about the decision you want to make with your life pursuing that?
I want to see that as a movie. Dead Sharon
want-
Stone, starring Kurt Russell.
Oh man,
It's like Bone Tomahawk, but with dead Sharon Stone instead.
you know, I want to mention something really quickly before we bring it back to the Jackson. Did you guys see that clip that was surfing around of Kurt Russell? He did a recent interview, and he said,
Yes.
there are certain roles he wouldn't reprise unless he had John Carpenter in it, because he said it doesn't make sense to bring certain characters back just to piggyback off of them some more. I was like, bro, why are more people like that? Seriously, like that is such a great, like, honorable thing to do, because yeah, he could easily do those things, and I'm sure there would be an audience for him, even if guys like Carpenter were involved. And who knows, maybe I'd be one of them because it's Kurt. Yeah, Kurt was saying what we're all thinking, but it was refreshing to hear, is all I'm trying to get at. It was refreshing to hear Kurt truly is a man of the people, and he's already proven it. He it's not about him just saying it, but the fact that he's done it. He's proven it time and time again, and I love the hell of him for that. So another guy that when his time is up, that's gonna be like a 9-week tribute.
Oh,
Probably
don't even
not
put that into the
literal.
universe.
Oh, jeez.
My computer got stuck here again. I don't know.
Yeah, what's wrong?
I don't know. What Sharon Stone is on the screen. How gorgeous was Sharon Stone back then, right? I mean,
Oh my God.
wowzers. I mean, and like we said, this is one of her first roles, but she just you just tell how lights up the room there. Wow. All right, now the
She
computer
does look like she has a little bit of psycho in her, though. Not gonna lie, I could see the same psycho in her in these shots here that I saw in Total Recall. Remember when she with Arnold, you want to tie me up, and she tries to do all the sneaky attacks on Arnold. I was just like, oh yeah, I don't know, man. Even though she's a good girl in this movie, I still see villain in it. And maybe it's because I got exposed to Total Recall first. I can't help but see villain when I see her, but I guess it's just one of those things that I've not been able to undo the thought in my head per se. That's where I am.
That's kind of funny that you say that, because in this movie, Vanity is basically playing the same part that there was a young lady in the movie Fort Apache, the Bronx, or Fort Bronx, the Apocalypse with Paul Newman, and Rachel Tanaka played the heroin user, and then Rachel played her opposite in Total Recall. So Sharon Stone was just getting ready for Total Recall in this movie.
So this is the one that she buttered up for. Okay. Now I see why Gary wants her in his butt. That makes a lot of sense. She comes with butter. Gary, of course you do. And
Perfect. Yeah.
Is it though? Is it perfect though?
Yeah, because then you can basically eat her afterward with all that butter.
The man's got to eat.
Do you know if she's salted butter or unsalted? Because if it's unsalted, you're probably eating out of
unsalted. But you know what? When it comes to butter,
you're
it doesn't
eating
matter.
out of fed.
Eating ain't cheating. That's what I always say, y'all.
All right, and the listless
not wrong.
receptionist has become. I think she was already a member. Maybe she upgraded. And listless receptionist, I think she became a huge member. Man, everyone's getting huge today. I love it. It's like not only do the dudes get huge, but even the ladies get huge on the show. You know what? Not only does I get a huge clip when I find the clip, but it's also going to get something
Huge.
you get a hug from Carl Weathers. Oh, so romantic. Thank you, listeners, receptionist, for upgrading. I do appreciate it. Radioactive. I will actually address this. So there was technically a sequel, even though I don't really consider a sequel. No, is it an entertaining movie?
It did get a
Nonetheless,
sequel.
yes, it's called Hurricane Smith. It was titled that in other countries. Now they were hoping for a series of movies out of this. They were hoping for that, but it just kind of never really happened. It should have. It really should have.
Well, I think one reason too was Joel Silver, mega producer back then, Die Hard, and
Right.
name one of the big hits. And I think this movie did well, but it didn't do as well. And then the studio went bankrupt that owned the rights, so the rights kept getting moved all over because Weathers came up with the idea while filming Predator. He was talking to Silver, like, so here's a quote from it. He said, this is Carl Weathers' quote. He said, "The creation that came about when I was doing Predator and talking to Joel Silver, who loved blaxploitation movies. Joel said, well, why don't you put something together? So during the time of shooting Predator down in Puerto Vallarta, I created this story and came up with this guy, or at least the title, Action Jackson. And Joel found a writer who wrote the screenplay, and that was it. We got it made. But then, it did well, but didn't do, if it had made, over 100 million, I'm sure they would have definitely gotten a sequel. But, rights issues and things happen and doesn't come together. But yeah, I would have loved to seen a sequel to this movie.
Yeah, proper sequel. And I know obviously Gonzalez mentioned the TV movie. People mentioned Hurricane Smith. To me, like I'm of a mixed mindset when it comes to like TV movies, or technically it's a sequel. I have very mixed feelings on that. That's obviously all by the individual case. For me, this movie never had I guess you could say an official sequel at that. That's kind of where I stand at that. Now, should it have happened? Yeah, it should have happened. Is he the type of character and had the charisma and the ridiculousnly? Because there's one scene here where he goes full Nicolas Cage that Nicolas Cage didn't do. He should have had ideally in a perfect role with a good set team of writers and directors. I'd say 3 or 4 movies would have been ideal for me for Action Jackson. I'd say that would have give him a good, at least a trilogy, at the very minimum, a trilogy. Because think about it, they called it Action Jackson Smart Countries, but he was Billy Smith in Hurricane Smith. So it's like,
It's
yeah,
also in the TV sequel, he doesn't even have the same name, even though it's called Action Jackson.
Yeah,
2.
and that drives me crazy because it's one of those things where it's just like, why are they saying that? It's like almost like it's you want the name recognition, but to me, you still gotta be a proper sequel, not just sequel and name only. So I guess this is a franchise that they're trying to do a in name only sequel on technicalities. To me, I'm under these type of technicalities. I'm gonna say this is a one and done. I could see what's up.
No, I was thinking about a sequel for this movie would have been pretty good since they pulled so many individuals from like your generic 80s action flicks. If they would have gotten the guy who played the cop, Carl Winslow, if he would have the cop from Die Hard, and they could have had Action Jackson and him and made a movie like a buddy comedy called Fat to Fit. And it could have been both of these excellent black cops, one fat, one fit, buddy comedy, mustaches. I was all about that.
Dude, Battle of the Mustaches.
Yeah.
And maybe for the 3rd or 4th movie, you can bring in Dolph Lundgren, and it would just be then you have like the big man, and then that way you'd have the parallel of them going from being against each other in Rocky 4 to them working together in another movie. Excellent. I would have liked that dynamic too. That would have been freaking cool to have done. it's just amazing the possibilities we could have
You
had.
have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man.
And there we go. And now I guess that may be a double meaning considering tonight's show. Just saying that may on the technicality be a double meaning. Who knows?
Now,
What
you
do
brought
want
this
to
up
theory?
earlier, Nick, that they brought in a lot of people from the 80s in this film.
Yes,
and
they
Robert
did.
Davi is one of them right here.
Yes.
But you also got, like, as the chauffeur for Craig T. Nelson is Al Leong, who's in every major action 80s film. Then you've also got, you barely see him in the film. That's Sonny Landham in the scene where in the hotel where he's going to help what's her name, Vanity, get high. That's from Predator. It's Sonny Landham and 48 Hours. You barely
That's
see him.
where
I
I
don't know why they
recognized
did
him
that.
from.
Which is funny because Sonny Landham had to have a couple bodyguards down in
to keep him from hurting people.
Because he used to beat up the other actors. He used to try to intimidate and pull out his flesh weasel, and he was just a nasty man.
He was. He really was.
And
But another dude that's in this film in one of the fight scenes is Branscombe Richmond, who he plays Native Americans to Mexicans all the time. He's even playing Polynesian, which I think he is actually Polynesian. But he's in this too. He's in the pool table fight scene.
Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about. No, we got a lot of notable names, and don't forget Bill Duke is in this movie, who's also with Carl Weathers and Predator as well.
The illustrious,
and don't forget Charles Meshach is in it. He's the black dude that escorts Stallone. I mean not Stallone, but Schwarzenegger onto the plane.
Commando.
And he kills on the plane. He says,
dead
"Don't
tired.
make my friend. He's dead tired."
Yes, yes.
There's no. It's Huey Lewis is not in this. I tried to look it up.
Oh
and
yeah, it's the same guy. He's been. This is the same dude from Die Hard, dude, that they keep saying is Huey Lewis. It's not Huey Lewis.
Okay, that's because I was like, I could have sworn that was, but maybe I'm tripping.
Of course,
No, it's
Craig
the security
Nelson,
guard,
aka Mr. Incredible from The Incredibles as well. Obviously, that was much later on, but still, yeah, this movie had a absolutely murder.
And by the way,
talent.
Wait a minute. I just want to say from your list of people,
go ahead,
your
Richard.
list of people, Gary. Your list of people, you missed one thing about Al Leong, and he plays a minor role in this. He's the chauffeur. He doesn't really get involved in this much. But I'll tell you what, he is in later movies the guy whose appearance in the movie tells you that shit's about to get real.
Yep.
Somebody tweeted
totally
that.
True.
And it's like in later movies when he got bigger roles, when he walks into the scene, you know it's about to go down. It's an absolutely sure thing.
You guys down below.
I expected a standing ovation.
You're getting one.
That just raised the toxicity level, I think.
Yes, it did.
Yeah,
A lot of people don't know this, dude. That Craig
but
T.
how is
Nelson
he get?
is a
he's not
legit
standing
martial
up, though.
artist.
Yeah, but he's not standing up though. I don't understand.
It's his penis.
It's his penis, you fool.
Yeah.
So when a mommy and a daddy love each other.
I don't know if you guys heard me, but I want to say that Craig T. Nelson's a legit martial artist.
I've heard that. I have definitely heard that he is.
He is the president of one of the karate tournament groups out in California. The guy is an instructor, and he's also a master of Tai Chi.
Tai Chi.
So he was doing
underrated.
kicks then?
He
Very
did his own
underrated
stunts
Keanu
in
movie.
this, fight stunts. This is him.
Wow.
Yeah.
I always thought a double. Someone I was watching said he was doubled up, but you can't
Nope,
trust what you hear on YouTube, I guess, then.
No, he did his own fight scenes because he was absolutely a martial artist into it. And I think that's why he took the role.
So he was Mr. Incredible in real life, not just as a voice.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. So I see some great comments here on theories about this movie being a prequel to Commando Soul Assassin. So Action Jackson is a prequel to Predator, and then RJ with Predator is a secret prequel to Commando. Yeah, I guess you could say they were, in Gary's case, they were backdoor prequels to Predator.
And you know the weird thing about
They
that
were
is
power
the film,
prequels.
The films don't share the same casting directors, and yet so many of the cast were constantly in these different films together.
Yeah.
Weird.
And think about it. They went from homoerotic to homoerotic to homoerotic, from Action Jackson to Predator to Commando. The titles got more homoerotic.
Well, if you look at the original Alien from Predator with the pink suit, he really looks like a running penis. He really does.
Well, if this is a prequel to Predator, I guess he really has been pushing too many pencils. Dude's been stuck on desk duty for like 2 years.
He's a sergeant, not a lieutenant.
Was Mr. Quick recruited?
He gets his lieutenant back by the end of the film, though.
Yeah, he does.
Bill Duke himself. He says, who tells him they should redub that. I should put that in there when he threatens to kill Carl Weathers in Predator. That should be in this movie. Making more noise, I'll kill you real quiet.
This guy, man, when I remember saw him shoot the shit out of this guy, I was like, bro, this is a cold son of a bitch. Man.
Robert Davi's
he had a great
character.
name.
Robert Davi's character is paranoid and knows people are after him, and he just opens the door because hey, parcel delivery.
Well, he's on drugs.
Land shark. Land shark.
Land shark. Land shark. It's Vane Titty. I mean Vanity.
Andy Graham.
We mentioned the great names a lot of these characters have in this movie, because obviously Jericho is Action Jackson, but obviously we got Gamble is his name. Gamble. I'm like, dude, his name is freaking Gamble. I'm like, that's a freaking bad name. And of course, Bill Duke's character earlier at the office, he's Captain Earl Armbruster. I had to remind myself to not say arm buster, because that's what I always see first is arm buster, not arm bruster.
I used to think it was Armbuster. Yeah.
Oh, you thought so?
What a great name! What a brilliant name!
Seriously, you have some great names in this movie. So whoever decided the names for this movie, I feel like someone out there should definitely get a lot of credit for coming up with the names for the characters of this movie, because there were very well placed names for a lot of these characters.
Well,
or Tom Wilson's Officer Cornblaw,
and then Detective Cotterwell. Somebody should have said to him someone should have said to him when he came in the station, "Welcome back, Cotterwell."
Seriously. I think what was that Chuck Norris movie where a lot of these characters this Mad Mardigan?
Oh, this is
Mark
toxic
put me on
scene here.
suspense.
There we go. Give me 2 good reasons why I'd say all those things. Yeah.
My heart almost stopped.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm more of an Apollonia fan than Vanity.
She definitely has some 80s areolas for sure.
Apollonia is acceptable.
Well, she got that food with Mad.
At least they're hers, and they're not stunt ones.
I
They're
swear,
hers.
I thought I was gonna have a heart attack for a second. I was like, "Oh, Mark's teasing me."
Say goodbye to your channel.
He stopped and was trying to get me in suspense, and it worked.
I think I've missed one time. I did miss one scene. I think in Porky's or something. I missed a few, but there were so many on there. I don't think you could tell.
I think it was Porky's. Was it Porky's?
It might have been another movie too, but I don't know what the.
It was the one where we had to age restrict it.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, you don't want to risk it anyway. But yeah, I think if it's hot yoga, I think you're okay. But if who knows? I mean, that here, come on.
What is the logic like for them? Like, okay, it's acceptable here, but it's not acceptable.
Well, I mean, is it sexual or is it not sexual? There's a big difference.
Yeah, obviously this scene is very much that
wasn't sexual. He was just doing a medical examination.
Yeah, I think it's if it's educational, and they're trying to educate us on what titties looked like in the 80s.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Here's
a couple of points. Here's a couple of pointers for you. If you're
I would have found it educational back then.
I'm sure you would.
You know that she's a high-class broad because she's using a reusable heroin needle.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. The one with the big
looks like what I used to inject my pigs. It's like,
and I don't see an autoclave in that room to clean it.
It's so weird that there's this like reusableness to it, and yet also she has it in this really nice like case to make it look all professional and like amazing and like this is the high end stuff. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, the designer
What's the
heroin
deal?
needle for sure.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm like, what the how that doesn't make it look legitimate when you use it the way you're using it, because you defeat the purpose of the case when you do that.
Well, you know, the likelihood of you contracting 80s AIDS from your own reusable heroin needle is significantly less than sharing. So they had to promote healthy drug usage.
Plus, it's good for the environment, right? You know, you're recycling.
Oh man, yeah,
You know,
it shows you there's screwy rules for shit way back when too. I guess, man, I tell you, I thought only the last 15 years had really weird screwy rules. I guess not. Come on, you can't tell me she doesn't look like a villain. She looks like a freaking villain.
She doesn't even have a cat, Nick.
I want to tell you that Anima told me that she worked with Robert Davi because Robert Davi is an opera singer, and Vienna worked in the opera in Vienna, and she said he was a jerk, that he would make the girls wear extra clothes and stuff. If they were going to be on stage with him, and I'm like, what the fuck was that about?
See, that would be doing the opposite. I'd be saying you got to shed some clothes.
I was gonna say that sounds like he'd fit right in with today, because way back when that was like the expectation is to go the opposite route. Nowadays that seems like the expectation.
He's like a human he's a human dignify or whatever they call that thing, dignify AI.
Objectification.
Yeah,
are you saying?
He's the human version of that AI they used to dignify.
Yeah.
Thoughts.
And we get to see Mr. Delphine here in actual action. So basically he doesn't act in this thing. He's just basically just doing what he does in real life, basically. That's what I mean.
When I saw this scene, I kept thinking, man, I should really take up martial arts if I can just, cheap shot some Asian guys.
Yeah, nowadays this would be the expectation, Devian Duckworth. That it's kind of like, if you look at, that's pretty much the summary of Black Widow's character arc as time went on. So when she started in Iron Man 2 up until her movie, if you want to call that
movie.
Yeah.
Did you say movie?
Yeah.
And here's another guy that's been in a lot of 80s films right there. This dude fighting him.
Yeah, Asian man.
I got to tell you, that doesn't look like Craig T. Nelson's hair, but he was a serious martial artist, so maybe he had a stunt double.
Yeah, it does look like it's doubled up, doesn't it, Gary?
It does.
Yeah, that doesn't look like his hair.
How's your voice feel, Mr. I lost you here. I gotta get rid of my screen. Mr. Kid Sable, how's your voice feel?
My voice feels very good. Thank you so much.
I feel great.
Good. Just
Yeah,
check.
James Liu. Thank you, Davina. It's James Liu. That's the actor.
Devian Duckworth
That's-
coming
It's
in with the
appropriating their
knowledge.
culture.
Yeah.
Misappropriating the culture by using their culture against them.
Name Jericho Jackson. Nickname Action. Home Detroit. Profession cop. Education Harvard Law. In parentheses, when that actually meant something. Hobby fighting crime. Weapon, you're looking at him. Dude, that is the best cap off line. Weapon, you're looking at him. That is a poster to sell you. That is a great, but you get a shot of action being detained, a shot of action in action, a shot of the villain, and then obviously you have Carl Weathers here to the left of Vanity to his right, and then the line, it's time for action. Kick ass poster. Yeah, this would have been one to own in the 80s. This would have definitely been one of those posters to earn. Oh, hey, another Mad Mardigan shot.
Yeah, I had to go back. We don't want to miss that. Yep. and you had boobs in the 80s too, which was nice, right? I mean,
side mad. We're getting side mad.
Side mad. Yeah.
Yes. Side mad.
You don't get that in movies today. You just don't, for the most part.
No, they're not. They got to avoid the male gaze.
The diversity of boobies in this movie is just spectacular. They were ahead of the curve.
Carl Weathers
They
has
were.
still got the biggest ones, though.
He does, yeah.
And the sweatiest. And we gotta emphasize the sweatiest, which is weird because I remember my girlfriend pointed out because after he was being taken away by some of the guys that being detained, like, hold on, why is he all baby oiled and yet he just had his shirt on? That doesn't make sense. Did they capture him and they're like, okay, we gotta put baby oil on you right after?
This guy,
Let's get real. The moment you
this guy we
capture
just
Carl
saw-
Weathers, it's the first thing you do, baby oil him up. I'm trying to do anyway. Damn, yeah.
This guy here, who's the butler or whatever.
Yes.
He is the guy who goes up against Clint Eastwood in the jail scene at the beginning of Heartbreak Ridge, and that was made around the same time. So basically, he's in the same shape here in a suit that he was.
You're talking
in
about the
jail.
bald dude
Yeah.
that he called Mutt Face.
Yeah.
Remember that? Mutt Face.
Yeah. Hold this, boy. I think war has been declared. It's the same
boy,
guy
push-
at almost exactly the same year.
I'm glad somebody
I
mentioned
pissed
that. Was,
Constantine. I pissed napalm and eat concertina wire. Now why don't you go hump somebody else's leg before I push yours in, Mutt Face?
Yeah.
No, and of course, this is right here where Patrice finds out that, oh, hey, there's corruption. And she's actually shocked that her husband may or may not be involved in. Of course, Ashton comes to her house. Little does she know, this is one of her last car rides in her life. And he's got the nice, this is an Impala, right? A 6060 says Impala?
66. I looked them up. If anybody wants to give me about $50,000, I found a really clean 66 Impala in Sarasota, Florida that's for sale.
Ooh.
I've got $5. I can pay you $5 a month if you'll do that.
Perfect.
Until it's paid
Man,
off.
that's good.
don't buy it. That one's got an oil leak. I've got a better one for tickets. For you.
Yeah, but is it a body oil leak?
Yes, it is.
A
There's all the body oil that's ridden around in it.
It's body fluid.
That's where all that spray they're spraying him with baby oil when it's in the trunk.
Oh man.
Yeah, Sharon was hot in this.
And evil.
yeah.
I know
She's
I'm
pretty cute.
repeating it at this being repetitious, but dude, come on. She looks like pure evil. And
But she's not though. She's actually a good character that which is why
she's a
has
good
to
actress. But and I'm still stuck with the Total Recall stigma. I probably always will be. I just see her. I'm like,
you're
that's
ruined.
a bloody damn villain. It's a
Yeah,
bloody
you're
damn villain.
ruined. I get it. You're ruined. Ruined, Brian. Ruined.
She's
Ruined.
Hey, wait, Nick. What she is in this is she's the trophy wife who doesn't know what her husband really does.
I know, it's
Yes.
so dumb. She doesn't
Yes.
realize.
Yeah,
My
she's
husband's
very
a
blonde.
bricklayer.
She doesn't have a clue, and when she finds out what he actually does, that's the end of her
Life.
it's the end of her life. It's the end of her part.
Simply put.
They lose me right after the bunker scene. Yeah, that's the end of her part in the movie when she finds out.
Yep, she was never supposed to find out. The whole gist was even and here's the craziest part about her finding out is even though she was finding stuff out, she didn't have any like feelings against her husband Peter. She was just like, "Oh, Peter, did you not know about this? I hope everything's okay." She didn't rush to judgment. She was actually kind of okay. At this part, well, I'll give her credit. She was trying to be empathetic and understanding. Hey, what's going on here? This can't be you. Of course, this can't be you. She's not rushing to judge. Oh, what are you doing? How dare you? I kind of would not blame her. If she did
she was
because
taken out pretty
all
quickly.
this is. Yeah, she
it was pretty abrupt. She asked a question. That's it. She's gone.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
most would rush to judgment. At least I feel like I would rush to judgment if I were in a situation like, hey, what the hell is going on here? This is a kind of a major deal. Why have you not filled me in on any of this? But she seems a lot more understanding than I guess you would expect.
Well, I go back to I say that what it was. She was naive. She couldn't believe that she just wasn't willing to believe that her husband could be involved in anything like that or anything illegal. and that's why she's innocent right to the end. She doesn't even see it coming. The closest she comes to becoming suspicious is she's, when the servants don't know that she's home, when the bodyguard doesn't know that she's home, or the driver, she said, "Oh, I came in through the back door." And I'm sure Gerry appreciated that.
Yeah, I gave you the video. I hope you're gonna play it, dude. I did that just for
look
you
at
guys.
this jump here. I love this jump.
Yep.
Oh, this is the craziest scene. And he yells, "I got you. You're on a cab.
No, I got you.
I got you."
Yeah.
I remember in the movie theater, just like, how can a guy outrun a cab? It's like at the beginning of the scene.
It's insane.
It's insane. But I love it, but it's just like
That was if you want to say like if there's like a top list of scenes that like say this is how ridiculous the 80s was, this scene would definitely be in there, because the fact that he was able to run to the car as a human being without powers and then jump. He went sailing like he was Superman, and he caught onto the car. I was like, holy damn.
Well,
and it's a great scene though.
Yeah, it is. But this even by 80s standards is silly.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Vanity, what is it? Vanity's character, the heroin addict who suddenly just stops. Sydney Ash is her character. She just stops taking heroin just one day. It's like, I won't do that anymore.
Yeah,
it's like I didn't realize that heroin was so much easier to quit than cigarettes.
Oh, you didn't know? You should try it sometime. You should get on heroin just so you can see how easy it is to quit.
Right.
Crystal meth is the only thing easier to quit. Crystal meth is easy.
It's so funny because at the end of the movie, she just basically says, "Yeah, I'm going cold turkey," and it's like, wait, what? When was the last time she was high on heroin? Like 30 minutes ago, and she's like, "No, dude, it's okay. That's in the past. A whole half hour ago."
It's ridiculous, dude.
Cold
That he
turkey
just
now.
It was her character development. Come on,
it was a different time.
She was having a fresh start. That was her character arc succession.
But this is just an example. This even by 80s action movie standards,
this was nuts.
This movie has some silly writing.
No. I disagree, Richard. I spent a lot of time in Detroit, and this is how taxis operate.
Well, I believe the taxis work this way, but I don't believe you'd stay on the roof.
It's the only way.
How much heroin you've done, I suppose.
How much determination do you have?
Well, that's all about hand strength.
That was perfect. Seriously.
Handy Randy couldn't stick on that thing at all.
Dude, this has been a hell of a time living in Detroit. You had RoboCop, you had Action Jackson. Detroit was represented very well back.
Kid in the Bay City Rollers.
And you forgot True Romance again.
Okay, kid. Okay, kid. All right, I will not keep forgetting anymore. Carl,
this is the funniest one. This jump, though, this is hilarious.
Carl Weathers doesn't raise the roof; he is the roof. He just raises himself into the air. Man, so good. I love the scene. So, please tell me, Mark, that you got a clip of this. Please.
Let's see. Do you think maybe I did?
Now I got you.
This bit's even better. This bit.
I'll get this one too next year.
He jumps over the damn car. What is he, the $6 million man?
Yeah,
it's almost like Gymkhana, where like bars were appearing for who was the guy, the gymnast who was in Gymkhana, and like wherever he was, there were bars or gymnastic equipment.
Kurt, go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
No. You guys remember Gymkhana? Who's seen Gymkhana?
Oh yeah, I love Gymkhana.
Yeah. Who was the lead in Gymkhana?
Oh, hold on. I'll look it up.
Gymnast Kurt Thomas. Was it Kurt Thomas?
That sounds right.
Yeah, Kurt. So like wherever
Kurt Thomas.
Yeah, so like there'd be like scenes that there'd be like bars across alleyways and shit, where like wherever you needed something, to do a gymnastics move. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would be a terribly horrible movie to do one time. Yeah.
Now,
Hey,
do
I
you
want to
believe-
respond to Jonah Hex, man. He's got
Yeah,
a great
go ahead.
comment. Nick hasn't talked
he
about
has a few
Detroit
comments,
pizza.
and we'll highlight. But I want to ask,
Do you know
did
what
guys-
makes Detroit pizza? Do you know how to
What?
make it? You got to have tainted water.
I was
That's
gonna
a Detroit
mention,
pizza.
And a lot of poverty.
I was
Flint
gonna
pizza.
mention. Did
You
you
made me
really,
joke,
guys
don't do
notice
that.
that Detroit was technically one of the few cities that got the closest to ever having a flying car a few moments ago, and they blew it. They freaking blew it. They had a shot at having a flying car, and they blew it, unfortunately. But anyways, yes, Axel Foley, yes, he was also from Detroit. That's true. I almost completely forgot that.
The only thing wrong with this police station is that there's not a cartoon cat in it.
Oh,
That's a Last Action Hero reference. Sorry.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know.
Just,
I was so sad I had to leave last night, Brian. I love that movie so
it
much.
was doing. Well, I'm
I
glad you were there, mate. It was fun. It was a lot of
I've
fun.
not had Detroit pizza from actual Detroit, and there's a great restaurant in my area that's about half hour from me where the guy makes Detroit style pizza, and it was phenomenal. I will just say that it wasn't cheap. It definitely cost quite a bit of money, but was it worth it? Oh, hell yeah, it was. I absolutely need to have it again, straight up.
How much are you
Hey,
talking about?
Mark,
Are you saying like
your mouth.
$45 for a za, or like what's the price point here?
I think he only does two sizes, small and large, and they're in like the 20s and 30s.
Yeah, I mean thicker crust. I think you can anticipate like a $35 za. That's about right.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what though, it was damn sure worth it. I need to have it again, and I'm overdue to have it again. And man, think about that pizza. Great, Jonah Hex. You got me. You freaking got me. Oh, hey guys, is she trying to sing a subliminal message to him? Is she trying to say, "Baby, undress me"? Just saying. I think she's trying to tell him something.
Yeah, I
Besides
remember
being a
the
hoe.
lyrics. The lyrics are like, "Baby, undress me. You can check out my heroin needle tracks." It's really real sexy
Give me
song.
2 good reasons why I'd say all those things.
Martigan, that's 2 good reasons. Brilliant. You're in.
Many,
I love Mad
many
Martigan.
of those bottles of Aquanet.
I know we were
boy.
talking about pizza. I didn't know that we actually needed pepperonis.
Better than flapjacks.
Those hanging flapjacks.
Oh man, that was perfectly done.
I'm gonna go to Denny's. I'm gonna go to Denny's.
Oh. I need a drink from that one. Holy shit. I love you, Kid Sable. I love you, man. Can you imagine that? What that was a conversation, Rocky Balboa.
Yo, Nick, I love you too.
Hey, yo, Kid Sable, how you doing? You like my buddy Carl Weathers?
He's doing just fine. Yeah, he had me some fried chicken earlier today. It was pretty nice. I like that. I also had some of that watermelon that they cut up for us. And Vanity, her boobs are still the same. They look horrible.
Well, let's just be happy for our buddy Carl. When the guy gets killed, you just gotta be happy for it. It's just how the cookie crumbles. We gotta be a bros. Gotta look out for the bros. I mean, am I right or am I right?
You're very right. I thank you so much.
Oh, well, thanks for letting me stay at your hotel, Kid Sable. Go have a nice one in Detroit. Next time I come back, we get some pizza, okay?
How about next time I go to your boxing restaurant and you can tell me stories of your time in the ring?
Well, did you know that when I work out, do you know what music I listen to when I work out?
What do you listen to?
I listen to Rocky music when I work out.
This is like a really bad Tinder date.
A grinder date, perhaps.
However you want to look at it. Whatever app you happen to have on your phone.
Outstanding.
We're in the movie theater, like, holy shit. He's Gymkhana too. Gymkhana was. We're gonna play it again. He gets some good lifts here too.
Couldn't jump like that. Seriously, but the fact that not only did he do that jump, but the fact that his vehicle went so high too before he had the crash landing was
Yeah. Then how's the guy get out of that? That he's gone, and like the car crashes after going like 30 feet in the air, and then the bad guy is totally gone.
Oh, I know.
That guy
That's
get
my
out of the car
ninja.
that quick.
That's my ninja.
He's an invisible man, and they call these guys the Invisible Men in the movie too. The ninjas, they're called the Invisible Men.
The overly elaborate ninjas, because they're just ridiculously overly elaborate in what they do.
I guess they're trying to be funny and on the nose.
You think I'm over here, but I'm not. I'm over there. It's like a magic act.
And So Long, Sharon Stone, another movie where her time is pretty much over.
Yeah.
Consider a divorce, as Arnold said in Total Recall. And yeah, divorce by death.
Yeah.
So divorce.
Maybe if your husband's a mobster, maybe don't confront him with it. Maybe.
Is this where he violates her corpse?
Well, once again, in defense of her character, I don't feel like she was trying to like go against it. It seemed like because think about it, when she had mentioned the sketchiness, she wasn't questioning him.
Oh, he should have said, "Consider this a divorce." He missed his chance. He missed his chance.
Yeah, missed opportunity. So weird though, because like the next time you see her laid out and her shirt is off, it's just like, so did he do that, or do you have like one of his guys do that? It's kind of like, bro, what's the deal with you guys? You could just leave the shirt
Asian
on.
limo driver for sure. You can see it in his eyes.
He was always curious. He needed to have his peak even after death. He couldn't help himself.
It's another thing to miss about the 80s. Divorcing your wife was a lot easier. You just shot her in the bedroom, and then that was the end of it. Really, nobody looked into it. Nobody cared. Where did your wife go? I thought you were married.
I considered it a divorce.
Good times.
Smith and Wesson, do you part?
Oh, this is great. You're one big fellow. Oh, dude. Yeah, I actually thought he was actually getting. This is the first time I'm like, oh man, our man here is gonna get absolutely slaughtered. And he ended up getting a really good tackle in, a really good. I call it an '80s tackle because of all the things that brought the guy down. It was the tackle. I do kind of question. I do question how the tackle of all things brought him down, because I know he ran to a door, but he's a big man.
I was also looking at the door in the background. It's just a nondescript white door, and it looks like they just found just a star laying around somewhere, and they were like, you know what? This random hallway, that'll work perfectly for the scene. But how is anybody going to know that all of our performers are in there? I got the idea. Let's just take this nondescript star. That's fine. We got it. That's how they know it's the dressing room.
That's right, yeah. Everyone's going to know.
I think you liked my act. No, he didn't like your act. He's Jericho, bitch. You're just connected to some crazy dude. And he needs you. That's it.
Any bottles of Aquanet died for this moment.
I'm through smash. I'm through singing. Now I'm going to get smacked out of my head.
Ooh. All right, dudes. I got to check something real quick. Carrie, this will be about 2 minutes.
Yes, your zip is down. You're right.
To midnight.
Look at that 66 Impala. That is just class. Going through Detroit. One last ride.
I mean, I definitely thought he was going to get a road blowy in this scene, but turns out,
or at least the handy Randy.
I want to see that movie, Creepozoids. Has anyone ever seen that? It sounds great.
Sounds like a creature feature sort of movie.
Yeah, it sounds good.
That doesn't look like they're really driving to Detroit. I didn't see any urban decay. It doesn't look like anything's falling apart.
This is 1985 when they filmed it, I think.
I don't think
that was even worse
bottom
than Maybe it was. I don't know. My band played there way back when, and it was a terrifying experience.
Yeah, I had a friend who lived.
And was a terrifying experience.
Yeah,
they're not good.
No, that too. My band wasn't very good, but playing Detroit was terrifying.
Yeah, I had a friend who worked for one of the big three, and you go in, but he's like, you got to know where to go and what to do, and certain places you don't go, or times, or you don't.
I used to go to Red Wings games. We'd go over the border and go straight back after the game. Well, that's not true. We'd go to Hockey Town for some beers, then go to the game, and then go straight back over the border. So.
It's like me in and out of Chicago these days. In and out.
Yep.
I was a drummer in a rock band back in the 80s, and it was an all-black band. I was the only white guy in the band, and we played a black venue in D.C., District of Columbia. And after the show, this big, burly black guy walks up to me and says, you're pretty good for a cracker. And I looked at my lead singer like, what the fuck is he talking about? The cracker? I didn't even know what it meant.
You did? Oh, wow.
And that was the first time you realized you weren't black.
Well, it's funny because I turned and looked at him. I had a terrified look on my face like, what is he saying to me? What is he saying to me? The lead singer goes, take the compliment, man. You're good.
At least he didn't call you a honky.
Yep.
I've never been called that. I've been called cracker. That was it.
So this is the sexy death scene.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, Craig T. Nelson's death seems pretty sexy too. He gets a bullet to the head. That's just hot.
This scene definitely made me want an answering machine again.
And amazingly, you ignore the fact that she cannot act.
She did get that Golden Raspberry Award very, very, very well. She did so well earning that award, I must say.
The funny thing was,
in this
Ebert
movie,
actually
you can
gave
outrun explosions.
Roger Ebert actually gave her, said she was a good actress. And I was reading Ebert's review.
I didn't know
he didn't
she
like
was
Weathers as much,
terrible.
and he said she was really good in this. I'm like, what?
Hey, she's Canadian. I didn't know that.
When Roger Ebert liked something, that's like when Chris Stuckman liked something.
Canadian.
Ebert said that Vanity was a what?
Yeah, I'll dig up the review and
please. We gotta have a laugh at that.
I'll put it on the screen. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I mean, she's not. I've seen a lot worse.
Bad, yeah, I know.
This is precisely the type of movie where I would read Roger Ebert's review so I could point and laugh.
Thank you, Red Shirt. And that is the one we are going to do that with, because this movie is magnificent for about 195 reasons. And one of them is not her. 1 star. Oh, I'm gonna go sue a
let me pause the slide.
I am gonna go sue a
If Roger didn't like
man.
it, it's got to be good.
That's right.
Did I tell you that
there's a movie where some parts are good, but none of them fit, and a lot of them stink.
Oh,
the movie tries for so many different effects in the course of its endless 94 minutes that I walked out feeling dizzy.
Hold on.
What can you make of a movie that's one
94
scene?
minutes? That doesn't make any sense.
Right?
You just said how long it was and we're gonna end, and then it's endless. But carry on, Mark. Sorry, I had to point that out.
No, it's good. That was good logic there. What can you make of a movie? There's one scene where a cop outruns a taxi cab. It was fucking awesome, by the way. Another one where a villain shoots his wife in the stomach while kissing her and then keeps on kissing. What's going on here? Action Jackson plays like a cross between Superman and the face of death. And that's not intended as a compliment. Rarely have comedy and gruesome violence been combined in such a blithe mixture as if violence didn't really count. I wonder which direction the rewrite moved in. Did they start with the comedy, then pencil in the sadism, or the other way around? The movie stars Carl Weathers, who played Apollo Creed in the Rocky movies, as Jericho Action Jackson, Detroit police sergeant who was busted from lieutenant for reasons much unmentioned but never explained. He's a long-standing feud with Peter Delphine, Captain Craig T. Nelson, a maverick car manufacturer who he suspects of sponsoring a murder spree against local union officials. Delphine is a real creep. In addition to the
All right, I just want I almost feel like I need to do my own movie version of EFAP EFAPing Ebert reviews so I can shred this review. Maybe that's an idea. I should do like a movie series,
video.
the way like The Drinker does like his movie series on like Production Hell or Why Modern Movies Suck. I should do a series of EFAPs on Ebert reviews and shred these reviews apart because I could respond to all of this trash. All of
Yeah,
it.
just title the series "Why Roger Ebert Was Always Wrong."
Oh, that's a good name, Red Shirt. That could be the right, why Roger Ebert was wrong, and then put in the colon, and then put in the movie name, and then do it.
There you
the
go.
The errors of Ebert would be better. The errors
of Ebert.
I don't think that, but yeah, the problem is 70s. I don't think they were errors. I think they were intentionals.
Intentionals.
Well, you should create a new word, Nick, and call it Eberting. And then definition
Eberting.
is misreviewing films. I shit on him in person, right?
Whoa,
Yeah.
what?
Pardon?
Yeah, because I was the critic for a magazine that he used to write reviews for, the Octopus magazine in Illinois. It was the #1 alternate news magazine of Illinois. And
Okay.
I would meet him for lunch on a regular basis, like twice a month we'd meet for lunch. And during the Cyberfest, when they were celebrating the creation of HAL 9000, they showed a 70 millimeter print of 2001: A Space Odyssey at the Virginia Theater there in Champaign. And so he and I went to go sit in the balcony together. We had just picked up sandwiches over at the shop that we normally would eat lunch at. And we're walking over there, we're going up the stairs.
Roger Ebert made you a sandwich?
Yeah, he had a sandwich in his hand, and we're walking up. He's right in front of me. And as we're walking up the stairs, he stumbles.
And you sneezed your chance. You dropped your pants.
He stumbles. Hold on, let me tell you. So he stumbles
sandwich in your butt,
and he falls forward, and he cradles that fucking sandwich like it's a football. And I'm behind him, and I start giggling. I'm like, and he turned and looked at me, and I said this exact thing to him. I said, "Sandwich okay?" And he
I would have done the same
dirtiest
thing.
look. True story.
All right, chat. I want you to level me. If that should be a movie series of picking apart Ebert's reviews
It
of
should
good
be.
movies that he gives bad reviews on, let me know. If the idea seems like something people would be genuinely interested in, I will straight up do it. Because the fact that he didn't like Action Jackson or TMNT, I can at least do those two. I can get those two done in the next week. I could strap. That would not take much for me to record those. That's just me viewing the review. It basically would just be me doing a Yellow Flash video, except it would probably take like 10-15 minutes to do. Oh, that's a good name. 32 Reasons Why Ebert is wrong.
Oh, that is very good.
Oh,
Better copyright that.
There's probably more than 32 reasons.
oh, oh man. I think.
Well,
I
here's
have
the money line here. So the movie is another problem. Weathers. He was well cast as Apollo Creed, who was essentially one note to play and played it. In this more ambitious role, he doesn't have the necessary charisma. He looks great, but lacks presence, especially against scene stealers such as Nelson, Roger M. Brown, and especially Vanity. And that leads me to the movie's one redeeming merit, which is Vanity's performance. She shows a natural screen presence of grace and easiness under pressure. I had the feeling watching Vanity in this unhappy movie that she could play anyone in any movie and make it work.
She must have given him a lap dance or something.
I just realized something. This is the first time Roger Ebert ever saw a woman's naked breasts.
That's right. Yeah.
And little did Roger Ebert know that her acting performance is probably what gave him his cancer.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yes.
Somebody once said to me that he earned that cancer.
32 ways to shit on Ebert's sandwich.
I know how you want to do this, Nick. Nick, what you have to do is you have to do this stream on Tuesday night. And then Wednesday, when you get home, you sit in front of the camera and you say, okay, pop your knuckles. And then you say, we're going to discuss something that happened last night because we watched a good movie. And then say what movie it is. But there was a man who disagreed. And then after that,
You go and you pick apart every movie on Wednesday that you talked about on Tuesday night with your mates. And that's just how you do it.
I think that's a glorious, glorious idea there.
You could even broadcast that from the hotel.
Yeah, I could. I really could.
Actually, if you're going to dissect Roger Ebert, you should record it in a hotel.
Well, I will be in a hotel next month. 32 thumbs down, man. You guys
That's
are
great.
See, you guys are giving
Very
all the of a thumb up his own Ebert shit bread. Yeah, there's a lot of times I seriously, this would be now. I need to get a hold of no. If I'm gonna pursue, I need to get a list of good movies that he gave bad reviews on. This could be really fun. The goals I want to there. If I could find at least, I don't know, 10, 15 movies, we got a series.
The thing comes to mind: Big Trouble in Little China. Well, basically everything that John Carpenter ever did. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, let's get this list going. I will straight up write it down, and I'm starting to really think this may be meant to be. This would be a very fun series to do.
He said
And
that
I'm sure I'll have
The Graduate sucked.
I'll have some Ebert purists out there. How dare you? He's a legitimate critic. You can't be saying that because somehow when you're in some position of a perceived company of having a good reputation, I have to put quotation marks under good reputation because and you ever notice anytime someone said, well, this is a well reputable company, it's just a nice way of saying to you to don't you dare criticize them. That's just what that code language is anytime someone said this is a well reputable company, it just means don't you dare question them. That's all it is.
Italians call that a finocchino because that means a homosexual or sugar shoe.
No, Price Reason, what's up, buddy? And that's good you don't. And I was not really too aware of his reviews, but still, I would love to do this. This could be really entertaining. Who knows? Maybe if I get like a series of them, like at least 15 of them, maybe 2 or 3 of them, I could have a guest do a video. That'd be fun. That could be really fun.
If you focused on his reviews of comedies and action movies, you would almost certainly have gold.
That would be exactly what I would do. It would be definitely his action and comedy because I have a flair for talking about action and comedy and comic books. So those would be
he hated them.
Top 3. Yeah, those would be my top 3 categories.
I'm looking through this list of Ebert's most hated, and the 2 that stood out to me are The Waterboy and Tommy Boy are on his most hated movies of all time.
Oh man, you guys are making this easy for me. Now I think you guys are doing the work for me.
And we talked about it. Death Wish 2. He said if I could give this -1 stars, I would. Because we talked about his reviews on the Death Wish series.
Yep.
So yeah, there's material there, Nick. It could be funny.
Yeah, he gave Constantine a pretty rough review as well.
So
Mark,
weird.
Mark, could you rewrite the movie about 5 minutes?
Oh, dude, this is
about other stuff
my favorite scene in the movie, bar none, where he obviously gets held up by these guys, and all of a sudden, before you know it, freaking Vanity, aka Sydney, shows up, says, "Oh, this is my spiritual brother," and he goes into this whole preacher mode. This was, to me, his Nick Cage moment. If you could say Carl Weathers can go full Carl Weathers, this was the moment. I thought this, and then the music in the background complemented it perfectly. The music adds to the hilarity of the scene. And he also was like, man, I could hear him out. Like, I don't know what that religion is. Where at those churches, where they do that, the whole preaching thing, huh? Pentecostal. Thank you. I'm uninformed on that. Thank you. But he really made me feel like he was doing that. And then the fact that he uses that as a way to springboard himself into action, where he breaks the glass in the guy's hand, was one of the most badass things ever. I'm like, damn, that's brutal. Just seriously, that and it really was brutal. I'm like, man, that seriously, that is some badass shit. That seems like a death metal album cover for real. Ew. I forgot to have this one, but thank you for subscribing, Edward H. I saw you earlier. I forgot to mention it now, but thank you for subscribing to the channel. Enjoy your stay.
Yeah,
Allow me to lay my healing hand upon you. Yes,
He
dude.
truly was touched by the hand of God.
Branscombe Richmond.
Dude,
was
look!
hard to
Oh,
kill.
dude, look! See that? Oh, look at that bloody hair right there! Oh, I can feel the
Yep.
uneasiness right there from that too.
And the kid
Man.
was in that show Renegade, the TV series. Richmond was.
Yeah, man, and he kicks some ass right here. I love it. He definitely gets some retribution, and of course, no, Vanny's showing like, oh, I hate you, and he's just like, we saved each other, and it's like, yeah, I'll give her credit where it's due. She got it started butting in, but as far as escaping those guys, yeah, this isn't like where you can just dance your way out of it, as he mentioned. Like, he did need to still unleash some action, an action that would keep these guys down. And he caps it off with the amen part, and I love how the music plays. Amen.
Give me an amen.
Yeah.
Very good use of the dangly earring too by the guy that was interrogating him.
Uh-huh. Hey, brother. You won't leave me before you give me an amen. Oh, so good. Oh, man. He looks like a black Ron Jeremy. Go back. Tell me that doesn't look like Ron Jeremy.
It does, right?
Go
Yeah.
back.
He
Go back.
totally does. In fact, that's his new name now. That's all we call him is Black Ron Jeremy.
From Tropic Thunder. Tropic
That's his
Thunder,
name.
Ron Jeremy.
From this point forward, that's all we call him. Black Ron Jeremy.
It looks like Carl Weathers like, hey, you look like Ron Jeremy, but you're black.
All right, make sure you fill in on your bingo cards that we made Nick lose his shit. Nick just lost his cookies.
Who lost their shit earlier over the Ebert review? Is that Graham or is that you, Bruce?
That was me.
Kid.
That
was
was
you.
me. That was me.
That was you. That was amazing. Oh, dude, that's a good idea. Tom could be my guest for that video. Oh, that's a great idea.
Oh, that would be one for the ages.
Yeah, we'd probably have to do a Mauler video on that alone. We'd probably have to do a whole hour on that one alone.
Tom could go for 5 days talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Don't you give him a chance to do that without being on your channel.
Oh, I will talk turtles with Tom all bloody damn day long. There's just no way that I can't just not do that. It's freaking TMNT and ripping on Ebert's review of it with Tom Connors. It's just perfect. You always had a little company. Guys, voices.
That's me, right?
That's you. Yeah, dude, this is your lines.
Tino Williams, tell you what to do. Go down to D Love's Barbershop on the corner of Cluster in San Antonio. Ask for D.
Oh, love it. And this lady, we get her in this one scene, and then that's it. And she's just like the provider of all information. My only nitpick with her, besides her giving Weathers this perfected mustache even more perfection, where was she earlier in this movie? Just saying.
She just kind of steals the show, doesn't she?
Well, she not steals it, but she gives off all this information like she knows it all. It's like, man, it would have been handy to have had a lot of knowledge that I didn't have earlier on.
I wouldn't mind to have someone like that in my life where it's like, look, all I got to do is just go get like a haircut and a beard trim, and she's going to tell me everything that I need to do in life. It's going to make everything a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah, here's your game genie codes for your PlayStation.
Had all the answers. It wasn't like condescending. It was just like, no, hey, this is what. Oh, she also used the word defenestrate. 70s. She said defenestrate.
No way. Great word, isn't it?
Go back.
It's not so pleasant to have it done, but it's a great word.
We got to go back to seriously. The fact that she said that I know for like a whole month after we said Springer was defenestrated.
Wow.
I'm going to, this stream feels a little bit defenestrated. I mean, what do you guys feel? Does it
What does
feel
that mean for everyone without dictionaries?
I have no
To have
idea.
been thrown out of a. It means to have been thrown out of a window.
It's a
literally.
I thought it meant your guts were ripped out.
It's a Czechoslovakian word that they used, and that was to mean that their prime minister fucked up so much that everybody rushed the office, got inside, got a hold of him, and threw him out the window, out through the balcony, and down he went. Sadly,
So it is
he
throwing him
survived.
out a window. Okay.
So if it means to defenestrate, rip the guts out.
Does-
Man,
does
how
that-
the hell is Cannibal Corpse not written a song about defenestration?
Does
That's
that
their next
mean-
They've got
album.
an evisceration plague.
Yeah,
Does that
yeah,
mean-
defenestration plague, but what about defenestration?
Does that mean Mexican Iron Man is a self-defenestrator?
Yes, it is. Yes, it does. He is an auto defenestrator.
Auto-defenestrator, yeah.
He's the automatic defenestrator, then there's a manual defenestrator.
Defenestrated under the pikes.
Yeah.
Brian is a premature defenestrator.
Yeah, he always jumps out the window before he comes.
I'm always at the lower floor. I never get high enough up.
Maybe that will be Cannibal Corpse's next single is I Defenestrate Blood.
Oh yes, I defenestrate blood. Oh man, that would be glorious. Seriously, like the amount of tiles you can use with that word defenestrate.
So
is
if you throw
staggering.
someone from outside a building through a window into a building, are you refenestrating them?
Oh, well, they have a
That's
song
called
called
rehoming.
Fractured. They have a song
think that's-
called Fracture and Refractured. Yeah.
Yeah.
Defenestrate and redefenestrate. Oh man. You're
Yeah.
such a master
It just-
defenestrator.
It's such an oddly specific word.
It is.
It's like, I'm like,
Who came up with a word like, oh, we need a word for that? Because a lot of
know
people
we
get
need a
thrown
word
out of
for throwing the
buildings.
prime minister out the window. What do we call it?
I didn't know about the 30 years war thing though. That was new to me.
I mean, they
Yeah,
gave a
so-
word to Gaddafi. All you got to do is shove a knife up your ass.
Oh
There you
man.
go, Gary. There's another 55 views.
This is prime time defenestrating. Ebert can't defenestrate his bad days. Oh, you guys and these guys. Oh, that. Yeah, seriously, that word is so specific and unique. You had to roll with something for that. Ooh, the defenestrating of Ebert's reviews or defenestrating Ebert's reviews. Oh man, there's way too many good titles now for what this can be called. Nick Weiser defenestrates Ebert. Oh, that sounds gay. Yeah, I can't.
So if
do that.
anybody's
Yeah, it does.
listening who's very, very
It sounds
young,
really gay.
Defenestrate. You're defenestrating
and
them.
they're questioning what this defenestrate means, it means to yeet them out the window.
Oh, I love how this druggie really thought he was gonna kick Action Jackson's ass. I'm like, really, dude? You're a drug addict. You're really,
And again,
When he
that's
was high.
Sonny from Predator.
is it really?
Yeah,
No.
random.
Oh,
Yep.
it is.
Yes,
Yeah, it is.
Yes. Yeah.
Holy crap! I see it now in his face. Should, dude.
Yep.
I like how they got 3 cast members of Predator in this movie, and I think I don't know if the slideshow missed it earlier, but there's a part where Sydney and Jackson were walking down the streets, and there's posters of the movie Predator on the building.
Yeah.
Did you
Yes,
catch
there is.
that?
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
I also suspect the boxing match you see on TV in the background at the opening of the film is from
Uh-huh.
Rocky.
Well, it is. I said that at the beginning when it was on. I said that.
I didn't
said
catch
that's
that.
from Rocky. Yeah.
They changed the audio,
Because
but
too
I
many
believe it
people were
is.
talking.
Hard defenestrating. Ooh. Seriously,
Yeah,
32
I-
flavors
I'll-
of defenestration.
I just want to make one point. One of the things I did not like about Roger Ebert is that he liked movies that were obtuse and complicated and what he considered to be sophisticated, which is why many times he hated action movies because they weren't sophisticated movies.
Oh, he was
When-
annoying
so-
too because
So
I got into an argument with him over the movie Bound. You remember that one? It was the neo-noir film that had the lesbian characters in it. I said, there's nothing new in this story. There's nothing original being told here. The only thing you like about this is it's about lesbians. And so you give it a good review.
There was a story.
There is a story in there.
Who cared about the
typical-
story? I'm with Ebert.
Yeah, Gina Gershon and what's her name are hot, you know.
That was a smoking movie, yeah.
All right.
Now, the thing is, we got to find a critic that you like, but I got to say, for at least back then, they weren't all shills. You either hated them or disliked them or didn't agree
I'll
with them.
give
But
him credit
today-
for that.
Today, everyone
Yeah.
is a freaking shill. That's the problem.
Exactly.
You know, Ebert wasn't a shill, but a lot of people didn't like
He
his
was
reviews. Some
politically
of his
motivated, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
but
was.
you know where it wasn't paid off though, like the critics
He was
today.
a communist. He was a communist.
All right, so Peter Shays helicopter tours for $2 says window and or glass broken are required for defenestration. Yeah, I'd say it's definitely required. I mean, if we're gonna commit defenestration, something needs to get a little broken.
If the window's already broken, then it's pre-defenestration, I think. So, there's all sorts of variations.
I like how Biff and his buddy run up the stairs to go get him. They jump all off the balcony, completely unfazed by the glass. And even though they're unfazed by the glass, they get into the cop car and they leave and they're like, oh, fuck. They absolutely failed with their mission as cops. Oh, you guys. But, I guess that's what you get, Biff. That's what you get, Biff, for thinking you can get away from them. That's a jump, too. Like, damn.
This is effing ridiculous, too. Look how high they're up, and they're jumping onto a broken convertible. It's like you're going to be all dead there, not mostly dead. It's
I like how the voices are covered.
Don't credit at home, boys and girls.
It would take it a miracle. Oh shit!
The stunt people that did that. Holy crap! What a stunt! Look, look at.
I hope there was an airbag underneath that roof.
Oh
yeah, because look at where her feet end up. I mean, they're outside. I guess they must have planned that because the door that would have broken her feet. Whoever landed there, the stunt person, and weather's double there. I mean, he's coming feet down onto. Holy crap!
Well, I think she's getting a strength buff by the associative property of Action Jackson's superpowers.
Probably. Yeah.
That's
holy
true.
crap!
Yeah, within 3 meters, 50% stronger.
The building before they jumped off because they threw they threw him to the other.
Yeah, across the alleyway, through the window across the alleyway.
No one at that building was home conveniently.
Yeah, I just realized something though. They do that in what, 3 cuts? So
yeah, it's probably 3 jumps. You think, right?
So it's 3 jumps, all 2 into an airbag, and then the final one is into the car. And that was probably probably not even as high as the camera. They went action, the camera rolled, and then they jumped off of whatever and landed in the car from about 6 feet up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only way it makes sense for the poor stunt people, because otherwise, you're right. The guy who doubled Carl Weathers would have broken both of his legs.
Yeah, God.
I would love to get Stunt Brad on a stream. If Stunt Brad were willing to come on so we could talk about her experience working on a movie, I'd love to do if she were ever up for it. And even if she just wanted to be an avatar, not on camera, I would totally let her. If she wanted to, I would love to hear her. So, because she's got some stuff in the comments. But yeah, if you're out there, Stunt Brad, listening live or catching replay, please let me know. I'd love to have you on if you're willing to come on for an episode. P.O. Shay's helicopter tours for $2 says, but window and glass or window or glass? Important.
If it's window and glass, then it's a double defenestration. The first 2 are going to be singulars.
Then we're going to choose the former over the latter because we want absolute. If we need the penetration of defenestration to be completely full, so we have to do both then.
Mm-hmm.
But what about what's it called if it's what is it called if it's an open window?
Semi
defenestration.
It's called a delayed pain defenestration. It doesn't hurt until you come to a sudden stop at the bottom.
I like how he freaks her out with his driving. He's probably like, bitch, you'd probably be a worse driver than me. Who are you to argue with me?
Jumping out of the window, watching him moments before kill a heroin dealer, and then stealing a car, and it's the driving that she has a problem with.
I know, of all the damn, and on top of it, her life is being saved by him on and off. Granted, she had her one moment where she got him out of a jam, but still, a lot of it has been him doing the heavy lifting. And she just ultimately is an ungrateful bitch. But at least he's got a nice smile. But he's got that. He's almost got like a Captain America, like Boy Scoutness to him in here. He's got that nice, clean smile, and he's just all like, he's just such a proper guy. He's just like, I'm just trying to help you out, lady. That's all I'm trying to do, and you're just ungrateful.
She needs to work on her priorities.
Which ones?
All of them.
I was gonna say you're giving her.
They're all out of whack.
You're giving her too much credit, assuming that she even has them, man.
Well, her priority was his driving was a problem for her, and I'm just saying. I don't know who said it, but they were right. He just killed a hero dealer. He just jumped out of a window with you, landed in a convertible, stole a cop car, and now what you're complaining about is his driving.
Of all the damn things.
Exactly. Of all the damn things, priorities, lady. Figure out what's more important.
Rockstar BD82, welcome to the channel. Welcome to Toxic Tuesday. Haven't seen you around here, so welcome. Says, can't believe they pulled that sun off going out one window into another the next. But dude, right? Conveniently, no one is home. And they are now able to throw a body of someone who's dead in there, but they are also able to jump down from that high up, and everything was fine. No broken leg. Okay, I could see survival if we're gonna be very fair, but not like a hurt leg, something like that. But once again, I'll forgive it because it's entertaining. It's the 80s, but I will still at least shred on it a little bit. Because of that, it was so crazy. This movie was, well, for lack of a better Sylvester Stallone term, this was over the top. It really was over the top. It really was.
Now I got you. And we haven't even gotten to the most over the top part of this fucking movie. It is coming up right about now.
This is bar none.
I got you covered.
I'm stoked about this. This is the baby oil madness of 1986.
Dude, this is the homoeroticism of the movie. Like, dude, hold up. You were just running up around trying to save the girl, and then they took your shirt off to chain you up, and then they put baby oil on you because there was no way you're wearing baby oil under that shirt.
And really quick, in this scene, when he slides down this chain to confront this motherfucker, he is smooth as hell, man. I saw that and I was like, damn,
down. He's not sliding down. He's riding the chain down.
There you go. I was like, man, I got to learn how to ride some chain, baby. Get on that immediately.
You call Mistress Catherine. She can help you with that.
Oh, man. Yeah, this is so ridiculous. But once again, our man gets held up again, and luckily he actually gets some assistance. This is where we get to see Ozzy Black Sabbath guy with the perm. Oh, dude, this you get to really see the perm. You're thinking this is the guy who's trying to like capture Carl Weathers, bro. Good luck.
Question is that a wig, or do you think that 80s blonde hair is that real?
That's real.
I think it's real. But here's the thing: we would refer to him as flaming gay in this scene.
Oh yeah, of course.
Nice, I get that. Yep.
There it
is. There it is.
I mean, some of these guys do get flaming later, so I guess that is true. The double meaning is true of that.
How many bottles or how many cases of Aquanet was used for this movie?
It was actually a tanker truck.
I can believe that. A 10,000 gallon truck. Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, I missed the comment. Ah, shit. I think I made it. Damn it. Makity said his screen has a giant crack in it. So does Gary's back door. From Monkey Chivas. Oh, that's great. How you
Did you
doing,
get
Monkey
that, Mark?
Chivas?
Did you get that video I sent you?
Oh no, I've been clipping behind the scenes, so I'll give me a few
I
minutes.
sent you a specific link for that back door.
All right, we gotta get to a pause when we get a good shot here.
Look at that sweat.
Dude. All right. Think about so there's 118 of you still here. Thank you, by the way. I only want to ask one thing. Assuming that as many of you remember the Expendables 1 very well, put a pause on here, Mark. Assuming a lot of you remember very well, Terry Crews in the third act, when he went to go out for battle with those giant guns, shooting the shit out of bad guys, he was sweating. As I said on that Toxic Tuesday stream, he's sweating so much that his sweat had sweat. We need to go back to a shot that showed off his entire, upper half. Let's get a shot of that, Mark.
Yep.
Seriously, and it was just so like I remember my girlfriend was like, "Hold
There you
on,
go.
didn't you just have a shirt
There
on?"
it
And then
is.
they put on baby oil immediately after because obviously, I mean, I've never put on baby oil before, but I'm assuming that there's at least one dude in my chat who's probably in good shape. Would you ever put on baby oil and then put a shirt on after? I don't know. To me, that just sounds really uncomfortable.
Yeah, you
I
should
mean,
try to
I wouldn't
Vaseline
do
yourself
that.
from your head to your tippy toes. Doesn't quite feel so good when you got to put a shirt on. But little known fact about baby oil: when you put on baby oil, you get really buff and black like Carl Weathers. So you should try it sometime.
Yes, but does the rest of you grow into match?
Oh,
Nick
absolutely
Weiser
not. I've
32
tried.
flavors is going to be linked in the virus.
It's I know it does sound gay, but I'm being genuinely honest here. Like it's slippery. That's what I mean. Like how does that work? And that's why I'm like, so they like did all this to him, and now they're like, oh hey, oh crap, we got your shirt. Now we have to apply this oil onto you. We have to do this.
I mean, imagine the one guy who's on set and they're like, "Hey, anybody, we need someone to oil up Carl." And then you just hear the one guy in the back, "Yeah, I'll do that job." It's like, oh, damn, dude. The guy just got outed real quick.
Are they in the credits? We got to check the credits. Yeah.
Carl Weathers, oily boy.
I guarantee you there's a credit for it. I guarantee you. It'll be
Carl
called
Weathers,
probably part
Oil
of
Boy.
makeup.
Dude, if that came out today, there would not only be a credit for Carl Weathers' as Oil Man, but Carl Weathers' Oil Man's Oil Man would have a credit too. The guy who works for the Oil Man would have a credit in the movie. With how long credits are, it would be bonkers how much they would go all in on that shit. They would, straight up. And Chernobyl, who's been a member for 4 months, a Dolph Lundgren member, might I add you. Nick, are you coming to the Vegas meetup this year? Sadly, it doesn't look to be realistic with my life schedule. I do apologize, buddy. The good news, and this is, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Keywords. I'm hoping in 2025. Keywords, hoping. I think there will be a possibility. So I apologize in advance, ma'am. Good news is, though, your package is shipping Thursday. All right. I shipped my Vulcan Lives yesterday. I'm shipping out D-Buds tomorrow. And and I'm gonna get yours along with it, if not at the very latest Thursday. So you're right after D-Bud. And after that, I got Diesel, deleted scenes, in Lester. So yeah, for those who do not know, I guess this will be a shameless plug. If you become a Dolph Lundgren member of the channel, this is a $10 a month fee. Or I would just call it membership. I'm gonna zoom in on myself. So $10 membership. You get a few stickers, you get a personalized handwritten letter by me. You also get this sweet bottle opener here. It's got some shine, it's got some thickness to it too. Yeah. So you get the sweet bottle opener. And you also get a personalized gift per se. It could be a movie, it could be a comic, it could be an album if you're like a metalhead. I do adjust my gifts accordingly depending on the person. So yeah, this like I said, if you're a $10 a month Dolph Lundgren member of the channel, you do get that package. And yeah, it's cool. It's cool. That does your $10 pick of your no.
Oh wait, never mind. Sorry.
And yes, shout out to Dolph Lundgren. We got 7 Dolph Lundgren members on my channel, which sounds really
awesome
and gay.
It's
But-
Not as
endowed.
gay. Not as
That's
gay as
fantastic.
getting a package from Nick.
We have a government that's proven that cliche true time and time again. Of course, to implement that kind of power, one must have a tool.
Everyone needs a tool.
There you go. There you go.
I'll get another
Go
one
back.
to you, Gerry.
Go back. Nick, read that out loud. My comment.
All right, let me go back. I once bought a shameless plug, but it kept falling out. Shout out to the Dolph Lundgrens. They are the biggest dicks.
That's right. And in response to RJ Godzilla 81, Carl Weathers' sweat is the origin of all sweat. No one ever sweat before this movie. My response to that is Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer. And Keely Chow, I watched FNT last week, and of course the week before with Razor Fist was on. Great, it was a great episode. I'm still happy to see I'm still on the intro. I'm gonna try to hope for the best on whenever they inevitably and rightfully so they choose to update the intro. I hope to make the cut twice in a row. I won't bank on it, but sure as fuck would love if that happened. And what's up, SFX314 Sabertooth Raptor says he's not seen this movie. Please watch it. Movies and Mandalorian, I've seen him in. I found him to be a great actor. Rest in peace. Yes, I agree, man. Rest in peace to a legend. Oh, dude. I'm glad I mentioned we'll resume the movie. You've got to learn to pronounce Dolph Lundgren like Andre does. Sounds cool. So, Dolph Lundgren. It's kind of like when he says Neil Gaiman, he says Neil Gaiman. That's how Andre says Neil Gaiman. So I hear double meaning. Neil, get on the ground, gay man. So I'm just like, so one time I sent a super chat on purpose saying, Andre, please say Neil Gaiman really slowly. And Tom, I think Tom and Razor Fist and Script are on the show. Script can correct me if he's out there listening and tell me if I'm wrong, but I think he was on there. But I know for sure Tom and Razor. And I sent the chat, and they're all trying not to laugh when he said Neil Gaiman really slowly. Best super chat I sent for $3 to get him to pronounce Neil Gaiman slowly. So if you're all out there, we all have our Andre voice. So everyone should just super chat tomorrow midnight to the morning. Could you say Neil Gaiman? Trust me when I say it's worth the price of admission. He'll probably want to kill me if it gets back to me that I'm the one who influenced the decision. But at least he'll make money for it. So it ain't all bad.
So is he really going to be that bad about it? Let's be real.
No. Anyways, this guy totally comes out of the closet to Action Jackson that he's like a low-key like racist. He's just like, oh, by the way, you guys kind of all look the same anyways. Oh, I misunderstood him. All my life was like, he said, oh, most of my guests you all look like. I thought he was referring to Gamble. No, I'm serious. I actually thought he was referring to Gamble.
That's a +2. That's a +2.
Did any of you guys hear that scene wrong? I truly thought that was a moment where he was trying to like come out to him that he was a low-key racist. I actually thought, I'm not trying to like be that guy who looks for it where it isn't there, but I genuinely thought that was him doing it, because think about it, he whispered it to him and everything.
Well, listen, now that I have you all chained up and oily, you all look the same to me.
My ninja.
You all look the same to me with your pants down.
Oh, there he is. That's Huey Lewis himself.
Oh,
Not Huey Lewis.
what do you
I
want
love
from
it.
me?
Yeah.
I want
That's awesome.
you to die. I was like, wow. That's it. That's all you want from him is
You're
you
here.
want him
I
to
want you
die.
to die. You're here.
But it leads to one of the best kills in this movie ever.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
some
This
great
is where
kills
it
in
starts
this,
to pick
but
up.
there's one kill that takes the cake. Dude, God, go back that shot really quickly. Mark, please, I beg of you.
Oh, yeah.
Look, we just need to
This
see
one?
that sweat. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can see the shot.
God
Dude, he
bless
can
him.
blind your eyes with that sweat.
That's like Martin Sheen levels of sweat in
Apocalypse Now.
Yes, thank you. I was blanking.
Yep. I know how that feels. It happens to me all the time.
And yes, Vulcan, I agree. He is a good bad guy. He is very effective. He doesn't have like these great huge ambitions. He's a simple cutthroat guy. You just know he just wants to be the man in power, and he's an asshole, and he's gonna go by however he's like, oh, tell me what hurts. You're gonna be barbecue. But the line that he gets to say all of it, how do you like your ribs, dude? And
Oh,
that's
so good.
And then they cut to ribs.
Then they cut to the ribs on the smoke, and I was like, damn,
Yeah,
dude,
I
I'm
know.
hungry.
You know what they should have had
He's
him
a
say?
horse, Mr. Ed.
You need a new drug. That's what he should have said.
Yeah.
I had to try that. I swear that was like one of those moments where I thought like that was one of the few moments you all will never see me laughing where I cry laughing at that scene because I swear I thought I was gonna have a heart attack of laughter from that scene. I'm like, that is it. If you could have a line that's up there with the most ridiculous one-liners of The Running Man, that's one of them. That is absolutely one of them. The fact that he says that shit and cuts to barbecue right after. And then Mr. Ed with his weird line. Oh man. Dude,
So this guy gets face spray painted, knocked into an electrical panel, electrocuted, and caught on fire.
You should have thrown him out of a window after that.
Yeah,
Just
that's like
and vault over a railing. You need to go
talk
over a railing.
about a brutal way to go.
And that the thing is, that's not even the most brutal way to go in this entire scene. They get progressively more gnarly. Like right here, when he looks up, chill out. Arnie levels. Oh yeah.
Adam
And then
from MTV.
yeah, they spray paint the guy. It's like you need to have a compressor going and have the air gun set up for that. It's like
Yep.
it's not like but who gives a shit? But yeah, it's not like a can of spray paint, but
And it's
whatever.
like when you watch this scene when he has his long hair and you see his hair caught on fire, like flopping around, it's like now it makes perfect sense as to why he has that hair.
he did do it better than Mr. Yeah, this scene, seriously, this has had to be one of the best like scenes of the A's. This whole scene. Everyone dies a super brutal death. Oh man,
This was a great.
That was fun. It was fun. Yeah. And this one is for Gary here. This clip is for Gary.
I came in through the back door. In the ass?
There you go. There you go. Thank you, Mark.
I embellished it.
Yes.
A classic. You know, if we have a
In
lot
the
of new
ass?
people here who haven't seen the.
That is
the weirdest place that you personally have ever gotten the urge to make whoopee.
In the ass?
That's a
Paul
famous
Lind.
like,
Paul Lind. Eat your heart out.
And you know what? I gotta point out. Everybody thinks that she's the recipient. No, she's the Peggy. She's the Peggy.
Her name probably was Peggy.
And that was one of those internet rumors for years. And someone finally found the clip because he's like, oh, I don't think that ever happened. And then someone found the clip.
Oh, here it is.
There we go.
The barbecue.
He got extra oiled up and pumped up for that scene.
Oh yeah, he did. They oiled him up real good.
I just don't know why Ed
How
helped
do
me.
you like it?
Like your ribs.
You like your ribs? Spare me ribs. Spare ribs.
All right, breathe.
Make sure that
Oh, look at the
you,
dummy. Oh, you can tell it's a dummy there. Wow. On the clip.
It's not nice to call Nick a dummy.
No, you can tell it's a dummy there.
died. This guy fucking died.
Oh wow, I didn't notice it in the movie theater.
Murder always makes Nick laugh.
Oh,
How old were you when this was in the theaters?
I was one.
You were one? I was 2 years out of high school.
Oh.
Funny. Here we
Were
go.
you
Here we
even
go.
sober during this movie?
only during the filming.
Barbecue, huh? How do you like your ribs?
I added a plate of my ribs at the end there.
Yes, baby.
Oh, my stomach hurts.
We killed Nick again.
It has to happen. at least once
Breaking
a
Nick
stream.
is one of the funnest things to do that we do.
You son of a bitch.
Damn,
I'm
that's
not
powerful.
crying. You're crying.
Puts new meaning to crack ribs.
And sometimes.
Al Leon is on the stream.
Oh, Keith and me
Time
again.
for a hug. Hug and tug
I
time.
wear my sunglasses at night.
Huge.
Oh. Oh. I think I can breathe again. Oh, I have to
All right, Tony Braxton.
I don't think I'm gonna recover from this stream for a week.
Okay, good.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, the cock.
Thank you, Mr. Bond.
Bottoms up.
You get a new comment, Nick. In green.
The chopper!
Oh. I'm not gonna
Wow,
make
okay.
it to, I'm not gonna make it to the fish in my own street. Oh. Okay.
I like turtles.
Okay. Let's try reading this. Oh,
Good luck.
You see, he's been a member for 2 months.
Wait, Nick needs a grace period.
I was overwhelmed. You're a true artist.
Just let me sleep a while. Regain my strength. 5 minutes. A grace period, if you will.
Please.
Breathe. Just relax. Yep.
What does Gary and a whole son of Pacific have in common? They both like strips.
I came in through the back door.
In the ass?
Embrace the homoeroticism. It's
So I guess I'm not deleting that clip.
don't ever no keep it.
Don't lose that.
Forever.
Do not lose that clip, Mark.
Oh,
Gary's like, please send that right now. So I can play
oh,
it.
oh man! I tell you guys.
There's no sense in going off half-cocked.
Ah, James.
Oh boy. Oh. Anyways, here's the near ending of the movie where it continues to get even more chaotic.
Throwing butterfly knives.
Throwing butterfly knives, and he drives a car in the house and he goes up the stairs with the car.
I think
So
it was a Pontiac Fiero. What do you guys?
Yes, I was trying to figure out what kind of car it was because I thought that they probably didn't have the budget to get like a Ferrari Testarossa. So I think what they had to do is they had to get a Fiero that was red because it looks like it could be a high-end European sports car to the untrained eye. But in reality, it's just a fucking Fiero.
I think
that one they'll build
It was 88.
fiberglass and aluminum models to put over chassis of other cars. They'll do that all the time.
Yeah, somebody actually turned their Fiero into a 308 Ferrari, the Magnum PI car, and got sued by Ferrari for doing it.
Because it does have a
How
mid-engine.
can you get sued for that? You're not selling it.
Okay, so you have the original MSRP of that Ferrari or Fiero back in the day, 1986.
$11.
Basically, yes.
It was a Chevy Chevette with the engine behind the driver.
Yep, I had
how that Rockstar BD, how that far, and the fact he was able to do such clean turns and those packed in hallways too, and not affect the car one bit. Imagine getting that car out of the house.
That was an 86 Fiero, 86 Pontiac Fiero. When was the last
86 Fiero was about $8,900.
Oh man.
Well, the sad thing was they actually fixed that car, and the last year was a decent version of it. If I remember.
Yeah,
wrong.
they put a six-cylinder engine in it.
Yeah,
and it finally started to drive the way it looked.
Yeah, it was too late though at that point, I think.
Yeah, that car until the last year was writing checks that it couldn't cash.
Yeah,
I had one, and I would tell you that it was junk.
Oh yeah, it was.
No, it looks nice. 86. Yeah,
it was built out of the parts bin at GM. They pulled a suspension from here and this from there and an engine from here, and they put a sexy body on it, and they managed to get that through.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Fieros are death traps. Yeah, they are. They're
My
fiberglass body,
caught on
or
fire.
plastic.
All right.
Yeah.
Gramcast shows off some goods.
Yeah, I was looking. So these are some of the Fieros, and if you look at the Fiero here versus the one in the movie, you can clearly tell that they tried to put a body kit on it to make it look Ferrari-like. Didn't quite work though.
Yeah.
Because isn't the entire thing is Craig T. Nelson, he's supposed to be like an exotic car dealer, but it's like the dude's like driving a Fiero. What the fuck?
Wasn't he selling he was like a Musk selling like his own car, it sounded like?
He sounded like he was a John
DeLorean.
type.
It's a DeLorean type.
Yeah, DeLorean type, yeah. More apt, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, I guess you got a budget, right? They made this movie for $8 million.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say they spent all of the money on Carl Weathers body oiler. They didn't have enough money for
right.
They didn't have enough money for a real Ferrari.
Hey,
shame.
And don't forget the tanker truck for the hair gel.
Yeah.
That doesn't come cheap.
I think the defenestration expert cost quite a lot too.
Oh, fuck.
You probably got a credit. Defenestration.
I agree, RJ. It was money well spent.
right at 2000.
Late night with Cap. All I gotta say is, this is the replay you're gonna want to catch. Trust me, what you have missed so far, it's worth catching. Like, obviously, you don't have your kids around. Assuming you have them, I think you told Cat him if you did, but
Unless you're a progressive parent that wants to teach identity politics.
I came in through the back door.
In the ass?
Might as well teach your kids how to use heroin needles responsibly. Get a really high quality reusable one. Go ahead and show them.
Also, buy an autoclave. It's important.
Oh man.
You guys aren't going to start sucking each other's dicks, are you?
That was them considering.
There's no sense in going off half-cocked.
Oh my God, the cock.
Bottoms up.
Oh, oh,
Oh yeah,
oh.
that's a Ferrari body kit. I forget which. I mean, it looks like a mini Testarossa, but it's so fake. It's
In
if
this
you know
case,
the Fiero.
it'd be a testosterone in this case.
Yeah,
Gotta give him
testosterone.
credit. He made it up the house in that car, driving it up the stairs, not damaging one, like minimal damage to the
Yeah.
car and the house.
Yep.
Very cleanly, and then he breaks and smashes through the door.
Isn't everybody's house built so you can drive a car through it?
See, this is
How do
the
you
type
get
of
up the
comments
stairs?
you love to see. Honestly, I've never seen this film, but I need it in my life now. This is the comment of the night just because of that. The fact that he's never seen it and he's just like, where has my life been without this movie? See, that's the spirit, Corbin Dallas. That's the spirit. And Vince Womack looked up, said Kit was a 1991 Dodge Stealth in KR 2000. Oh. And welcome to the show, Corbin Dallas. I don't know if you've been lurking or if you've been here all this time or just dropped in, but welcome.
Corbin's real, man. He's watched me before in plenty of streams. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. Cool.
He's a good guy.
I can't believe how bad Coach is in this movie. God.
I love how like he gets in full Action Jackson mode here, and he like because at first he like it's like a pretty even fight, and then all of a sudden he goes full Carl Weathers, and all of a sudden he becomes like a lot more formidable.
You heard him say it's Morbin time.
Now you're really gonna piss me off.
Now you've really pissed me off.
Tagline.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you, this really was a hidden gem of the time. Even though it did make money through over time, it still didn't get enough credit that it should have. Straight up.
Well, Nick, I would have invited you to the movie theater to see it with me, but you were 2. That was the problem.
I was 9.
Yeah, that'd just be creepy.
An adult man taking a 9-year-old little boy to a movie, not suspicious.
Big
Not at
brothers,
all.
big sisters, buddy. Big brothers, big sisters.
And you live like 6 states away, that'd have been a big red flag.
I mean, and it was also the 80s when molesting kids was cool, you know?
Can you imagine being the cops and you just walk up the house and there's a fucking car in here?
You probably got a ticket for that. It's got to be some kind of misdemeanor or. Does your insurance cover that?
Oh, seriously, this movie's so ridiculous. It's just like you can't even follow it up after the guy dies, and you just that's pretty much fucking it. Dude, now you pissed me off. Look at that face. You can see like it strip lights a spark in him. It lights a spark. All of a sudden he like becomes like also it's kind of like when Hulk Hogan did that whole thing where like he kicked out like a certain move. Also he just like that. He did the Hulk out phase. That was what Carl Weathers said. He hulked out right here, and all of a sudden he won the match like it was a wrestling match.
Oh, he entered full Hulkamania.
That was no strap his Hulkamania. Yes, Thunder Lips, Rocky 3. Yep.
That was great.
So good. That was a fun
He's even got.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Weathers has a much better role in 3 and 4. I mean,
oh god,
tragically dying in 4. But
so good. No,
I can't believe that in the movie theater. It was like, Dad, they just killed Apollo. It was, you know,
oh dude, I remember being a kid.
It was like, holy shit.
I was it actually like I remember as a kid that freaked me out because I was like kid to me like I grew up with Apollo. He went from this guy as a kid who I didn't like because you know he wasn't Rocky to becoming this guy who I started to understand more. I was like, oh okay, he was a guy who was a really formidable fighter who was caught off guard and who just happened to also be really good. And then of course you see the friendship bond between them, and also you got attached to that friendship. And then to see it all taken away, especially after such a memorable entrance with the Living in America song, Yeah, I remember how stunned I was as a kid. Like it made me hate Dolph Lundgren for like 7 or 8 years because
I was gonna say
that's
took
how
nearly a decade to wear that one off.
it took a while. I think by the time I was like 20 or 21, I was able to accept him being in our role, but that put a long stain on me. To me, Dolph Lundgren was just straight Ivan Drago. There's no other incarnation of him in real life. Because of how like the fact that he like not he beat Apollo, but he straight up killed him to death. Like that was like, what the fuck, man?
Would the ending have been better if Rocky beat him to death at the end of the movie? it's like, might as well.
It only serves him right.
He needed to stop the Cold War though, so
Yeah.
he couldn't kill him though. Yeah, then we would have had global thermonuclear war.
This was one of the contributing factors. It was actually D-Bud. That was one of them. I could be exaggerating my timeline, but I know at least at the very least into my mid-teens, I was not a Dolph Lundgren fan. But yeah, somewhere around there it was Showdown Little Tokyo that changed it all for me.
He's going to sleep with that. He's going to sleep with this drug addict skank.
Well, no, she's cold turkey at this point.
Yeah.
She's clean.
She had
She's a
a
virgin
change of
again.
heart.
She's a virgin again.
If he fits her on the front of the car, would that count as vanity plates?
Okay, somebody slap Brian for that one.
Vanity with vanity plates.
There's a great line Kornblau said earlier. He said, it was a regular fuck-orama at my place last night. And then officers was like, Cam the shit, Kornblau. There be any pussy at your pet since your mother helped you move in. They all call your place the House of Wax.
Oh, yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
They ain't been any pussy at your pad since your mother helped you move in. They ought to call your place the House of Wax.
I understood that double meaning. Oh, speaking of Showdown in Little Tokyo, I don't think we've done one certain clip in a while.
You have the right to be dead.
Nice.
That never gets old. Oh, man. What a fucking movie. Just Jackson.
When was the first time you saw this, Nick?
Huh?
When was it? Did you watch it just for this show, or have you knew this movie?
I think, and I have to emphasize the word think, I think I seen it once many moons back. I know for a fact that if I have seen it, I haven't seen it in a very long time because there are elements of it that felt familiar.
Yep.
But there's parts of it that I was unsure of. So either I haven't seen it before, I'm mistaken it for something else, or I first time in a very long time. If that long time, I'm talking like 15, 20 years, a long time.
Yeah. No, it's been a long time since I saw this.
But man,
too.
Absolutely worth it for the stream, and definitely a great way of paying love and respects to the absolutely phenomenal Carl Weathers. So, guys, for tonight, we're going to do one unique score. We're not going to do toxicity and greatness. We're going to do a Carl Weathers score. We're going to make it unique. And that way it'll be one, because I also know there's well over 100 of you still in here, which is nuts, by the way. It'll be easier to blaze through A, but B, it's a special show because it's all about the Carl Weathers score. That's it. There's no deep reasoning. That's it. And yes, rest in peace, Carl Weathers.
Hey, what is it called when you get thrown out a window with oil all over your body? What is that?
You got Carl Weathers, Don.
Still defenestration.
You got Carl Weathers, Don. The Carl Weathers defenestration. And Davina Duckworth already says 11 out of 10. Normie the Navy says 100. That was easy. Yeah. Yeah, you could do 1 out of 10, 1 out of 100. You do your own Carl Weathers rating is what you're all doing. And while the credits are going, we will let 70s do his score. If you also want to plug in and out, you can do that as well.
Unfortunately, I got to drop out fairly swiftly tonight, but that was a lot of laughs. Thanks everybody on the panel and everyone in the chat. That was a fantastic tribute. I can't really think of. I mean, first of all, we're not doing, as you say, we're not doing toxic and movie scores. We're just doing one score. It's a pretty toxic movie by today's standards. I have to say that. It's a lot of fun. It's very peak 80s action fun. Carl Weathers is magnificent. We will miss him already. I cannot think of a funny score or to give it in tribute. You couldn't make it big enough. You know, it's like 1,988 out of 10 because that was the year the movie was released for Carl Weathers. A great guy. Sad loss. Fun movie. R.I.P. Carl. Thanks for everything. Thanks for the memories. Your memory will live on. We'll be watching these great movies for years and years. We will, I know. I'm sure many other people will. So thank you, Carl. And yeah, that was a great show, Nick. Thank you for doing it.
Oh, my pleasure, man. Thanks for being here. And yeah, of course, we all thank Mark for why he got this going, because this really was
thanks,
the
Mark.
thing.
You're welcome. Thank you. Yep.
Yeah, it was a great tribute and to a great guy.
Yeah. No, thanks for being here, 70s. Have a great night, dude.
Cheers.
We'll
I gotta drop it.
Take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Subscribe, guys, to that 70s rock
Be there,
fan.
Brian. Be
If
there,
you look
be
in the
there.
description, his channel is on. I have it tagged, so go.
Oh, I just put
subscribe
it
to
in
him.
too. Yep.
Oh, thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.
think I
I'm
did,
gonna
didn't
I'm
Where
gonna
is it?
blaze through reading of a few of these, and then we'll get to Backdoor Gerry. Soul Assassin says 10 out of 10. Sanding Monkey 10-10.
Oh,
Keely
sorry.
Chow
Yep.
10-10. No, it's all good. Corbin Dell says, I've never seen it, but this review blew me away. Nice. Anonymous Gamer 11. Mars Monkey Max 10. Vulcan Lives. Carl Weathers Greatness 11. D. Bud Martin, rest in peace, Carl 10 out of 10. TZ, rest in peace, Carlton. Rip Vanity 10. Great tribute tonight, Nick. Darth Viewer 10 out of 10. Carl Weathers 10 out of 10. Card Jumping 10 out of 10. Defenestration. Thanks. Dave C. Carl 10 out of 10. Oiled Up Carl 11. Oh, it's oiled up. Ooh, I like that. Oiled Up Carl. Sounds like a hot one. All right. Anyways, Backdoor Gerry. The ribs and healing. Gerry, go ahead and set off with your Carl Weathers score. And
Well, you got to play this first.
On Carl
first before.
Weathers.
I came in through the back door.
In the ass?
There you
Tag
go. That to me, Mark, so I can play that on our channel. I've got to get going too, like Brian, but to do this, if you pop up my screen, you'll see what I'm working on.
Oh, yeah. I will pop it.
There you are, Nick. You're in the page.
Hold on, that's me?
We'll just say it's you.
Wow, you're famous now, Nick. Holy shit.
That's not me. That's just some guy
It
who
could
looks
be
like
you.
You're just some guy that looks like me. But cool.
You're immortal now.
That I see the alcohol there. That's a sign. So is that
There's a
is that Carl Weathers there to over there? Like, Nick, stop drinking.
Oh, that's definitely a 70s rock fan over there in the bald. So I'm steadily working on this page, but I give the show, look, if it was like, if you were asking me to do a full review, I would break down some numbers. But the fact is, this is a perfectly toxic film. Perfectly toxic. It's got the
Agreed.
titties in it and a villain that gets shot ugly. And they've got some gnarly racism in it. I'm telling you, man, it's a fucking good film. It's 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Straight 10 out of 10.
Thank you, Gerry. Guys, this is Gerry's comic, Vindicated Inc. He's almost at 4K. Seriously, go look in this comic. I backed it.
Which reminds me, I messaged you, but I don't know if you see my messages.
I have not yet.
Somebody said, I need to join you on Thursday Night Meltdown.
Thursday Night Throwdown?
Is that what it's called? I thought it was Meltdown.
Yeah, for Comics Division. Yeah, you and I gotta have our talk with Toxic Man Flu again about making that happen. But yes, I do agree on that. Yeah, Vulcan lives. I know he backed it too. Yeah, no, we gotta help make that happen for you, buddy. I agree.
Yeah, because we're at a standstill right now. It's like it's trickling in, and I've got to get more movement if I'm going to get Richard doing more pages.
Yeah, no, we definitely gotta try to help make that happen. We definitely gotta try to help make that happen. I agree. We'll talk this week. All right, I promise we will talk this week. But between that message and your message and I and talks, we'll talk. Okay, it
Sounds
would be
groovy,
great.
brother.
But guys, seriously, go check out his comics. Seriously, it looks genuinely good. There's a reason why I backed it because
This
it looks
chapter
like
I'm working
something
right now is going to be one of the best chapters in the book for violence.
For violence. See,
The violence will be huge.
huge. Is that
Huge
all
amounts
you
of
had to
violence.
plug along with your Carl Weathers?
Well, I do want to get pegged, but we'll do that another night.
Okay. All right.
All
I'm
right,
gonna read.
guys. Have a good night. Thanks for having
All
me,
right.
man.
Good night,
It's always
Gary.
good to see you guys.
Gary.
Well, Gary,
Later.
Send me your email, Gary, so I can email you that clip so you can download it.
Will do, brother. All right. Bye.
Radioactive says 8.5, toxic 7. Hi. Sometimes we're all in our habits. All good, brother. RJ Godzilla 8110 on 10 rib recipes. 69 here, Jonah Hex. SFX 314 Sabretooth Raptor. I can't rate the movie, but for Carl Weathers, I would rate him 10 gajillion. Rest in peace, Carl Weathers. Thank you. Well then, I guess Kid Sable, why don't you give us a Carl Weathers score?
Okay. Now, no matter what score I give this movie, and it's a great movie, it's got me in it. I'm Kid Sable, played by Chino Williams. Anyway, you have this fantastic film, and nothing I say is going to change the fact that you need to watch it, and you should probably watch it with your family because it's just ridiculous and a good time. And that's what everybody needs right now is just to have a place to retreat to and enjoy themselves. Maybe a nice seedy hotel where you could go and just kind of chill out with Sony Landon while he gets you that cocktail you need. Anyway, what I'm saying is that this movie, out of 100, I'm going to give it an 80 because it is easily a 4 out of 5-star film. There's a few problems with movies. One, it had a Pontiac Fiero that is it did not catch on fire, and I can tell you they catch on fire from personal experience. I know this, so I would say 80 out of 100 for this movie. And if you're looking for a toxicity score, you already know that because we've shown you all the toxicity to be sampled in the movie. There's so much more. It's such a great film. But this movie is so good. I need to say something real quick. Give me about 30 seconds, Nick.
Okay. Have your 30 seconds.
I love Carl Weathers. He was a man's man, and throughout all of life, he played various roles that needed to be filled. And he would show you that you could have an adversary that you hated and still respected. And then later, things would change, and you would have a new dynamic to your relationship. And a perfect example would be Rocky and Apollo. They initially hated each other, and Apollo gave him no respect, no due. And finally, around Rocky 3, Apollo came around and they were bros. And that could happen with anyone going through a problem with somebody else. Maybe you just need to take a step back, get your ass beat, or maybe come out on top, but have time pass. And then once all that happens, then maybe your life will have a new perspective with this individual. Carl Weathers no longer with us, but he's going to be with us every February 1st from here on out. What better way to remember Black History Month than having a celebration, a toast to Mr. Apollo Creed on every February 1st, a hell of a standard bearer to raise the flag for Black History Month. God bless you, Carl Weathers. I see you on top. Good watermelon, excellent fried chicken, 10 out of 10.
Thank you. Thank you, Kid Sable. And yes, heartfelt, man. Yeah, we will miss Carl. We will straight up miss Carl Weathers. And I'm very grateful for basically almost 3 decades of my life of memories of movies that he's been involved in, starring, if not strong supporting actor. Straight up. Thank you, Kit Sable, and thank you for hopping in for Bruce for the show. We need a good man to fill his hole. I mean, fill his void, and you
We
filled
can
the
feel that
criteria
whole.
nicely.
Oh yeah. Bring in Gary because we're gonna peg this from down.
Vince Womack says Carl Weathers scores 100 over 100 plus I give a boo bust bonus points. I see what you did there. Thank you, Bruce. I mean, sorry, Kid Sable. All
Kid
right.
Sable to you.
Well, Dustin, I know you didn't watch it, but do you have any final words to say about Carl Weathers?
I mean, what can you say about a man like Carl Weathers when it comes to the impact that he had on action films, especially in our lifetime?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from my childhood on, I mean, from the first movie I ever saw him in, Predator, to Happy Gilmore, everything. I mean, he's irreplaceable.
I agree.
I think he probably may be one of the most underrated action stars to come out of the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I know we're celebrating here tonight, but that doesn't mean that everybody else kind of saw him the way we did. So, you know, I had to be here. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to watch the movie, but, you know, he impacted me throughout my movie experience, my growing up with movies. So I had to be here to talk about it and show some respect. But thank you for giving me that opportunity.
Oh no, hey, I appreciate you hanging out, man, giving your time, because I would have not blamed you if you say, "Hey, I'm going to back out tonight," but you chose to be around here anyways, and I do appreciate that. So thanks for being here, dude. White Man Can't Jump next week for you, my friend.
Yes.
Mark.
Yeah, so it was great to have this as a tribute to Carl Weathers tonight. And yeah, when I saw that he passed, first I was like, "Holy crap! I can't believe he died," because he seemed, sometimes you see, hear
He
people.
felt immortal.
Yeah, and then and he looked so good at age 76. Christ,
he
I mean,
did.
if you watch
Black
him in The
on crack.
Mandalorian, he was great in The Mandalorian. He was great as Grief. Was it Cargo or Karga?
Grief Karga.
Grief Karga, right? So yeah, and I think Gina Carano said some nice things about Carl Weathers today too, in her lawsuit against Disney, and she said he was one of the actors that actually reached out to her and told her to keep on going and keep fighting, and so she had a couple of some nice things to say about him, but yeah, I just started following him on Twitter. His Twitter feed was great. Once in a while, I got involved in politics, but not too much. And he was, I assume it was him posting on Twitter. He was fun to follow. But yeah, this movie's 10 out of 10 Weathers. I mean, how can you not give it a 10? I mean, seeing it in the movie theater, my friends, just out of high school, it was like when he's chasing the car down and he runs up and jumps up on that car. We're all like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
I got
and then
you.
I got you. And then when he flipped. It's like he's Spider-Man. God bless him. We're looking at each other in the movie theater, probably like, "What the hell was this?" Right? Yeah. But no, but it's all in good fun. They don't make fun movies like that, and like the '80s with those over-the-top action heroes, and he was one of them. And yeah, too bad this didn't get a series, but he was great whenever you saw him, in a great presence. I think Roger Ebert was totally wrong on that review, saying,
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah, that's an easy one to disagree with. But yeah, he's he'll live on forever. I mean, Rocky is an Apollo. That movie will be around forever. I mean, everyone knows Rocky and Apollo Creed, and now the Creed movies have done very well too. Obviously, as sequels. So it's a character that'll be with us forever. And yeah, it's a shame that Carl passed away. He lived a nice long life, but too soon. But God bless him, and hope he's doing well wherever he is. So hopefully there is a hereafter, and he's enjoying it enjoying it looking down. But yeah, it was a shock to hear that he had passed the other day.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it, sir. Eric K.
You're welcome.
For $2 says 100 out of 100 swing for Vanity. Rest in peace, Carl. Of course he would. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate the $2, dude. And yes, rest in peace, Carl Weathers. All right, to Mr. Redshirt, give you your Carl Weathers score. If you get any Carl Weathers thoughts, we'll say it here.
Well, I got to start out by that I owe Carl Weathers a debt of sincere gratitude for making this movie, along with everybody else, because between this movie, Basic Instinct, and Total Recall, I have now seen every bit of Sharon Stone except Gary's favorite part. But when it,
oh, nice.
The back door.
I was like,
this much.
The back door. No, but to get serious for a minute, one of the things that I love about Carl Weathers in his movies, from Rocky to Predator to this movie, which we have laughed at. I mean, we've laughed at this cab scene when he leaps onto the roof of the cab, and then jumps over the top of the cab. Carl Weathers never played it for camp. I mean, he always played his roles as though he absolutely positively believed that his character was going to do what his character was written into the script to do. So if you want me to jump over a yellow checker cab, I'll jump over a checkered cab. I'll behave as though I can do that. No problem. And the fight scenes when he's fighting Coach Craig T. Nelson, who is, yes, as we know, as was noted, is an actual martial artist. It reaches a point where he goes, all right, now you've pissed me off. And then it gets serious. And he turns it up a notch. So you believed in his character. You bought the character he played. You bought it in Rocky. You bought it in Predator. You bought it in this. And he was excellent. He was an absolutely amazing actor in that regard. He was always there, hit his marks, got his lines, gave you the performance. He's never, I don't think I've ever seen him, even in a scene, never mind a movie, give a less than stellar performance. The man was a consummate professional. It didn't matter what the script was. It didn't matter what he thought of the script. If he agreed to do the part and do the movie, he did what they asked him to do, and he did it 110%. So 10 out of 10 for Carl Weathers in this movie. In many ways, he carries this movie as an action flick. And while, yes, if I were giving Toxicity and Greatness scores, I'd have all kinds of things to say. But when it comes down to Carl Weathers in this movie, this is Carl Weathers' movie, period. 10 out of 10.
Awesome. Thank you kindly, sir. I do appreciate that. That's nice to hear. And yeah, once again, we've lost a great one that actually was very effective to our upbringings and to our very awesome guest who really brought the comedy tonight, Gramcast.
Yeah, my brother. All right. So, well, first of all, Nick, thanks for having me on. I do appreciate it. I've been watching this, for some time now, and it's a great honor to kind of take place or to take part in such an important evening. So it's interesting, Carl Weathers. One thing that kind of keeps crossing my mind, and has been really over the last week, is we think, he was great in these movies. Not only was he a part of one of the best training montages on the beach with Rocky, but he was also 50% of arguably the greatest high five / handshake of all time after he had been pushing pencils too long, that son of a bitch. But
you son of a bitch.
Exactly. And isn't it interesting that two of the biggest 80s action icons in Arnie and Sly both were just like, he's the guy. I have to work with Carl Weathers. He's the man. And if you have the all-time greats clamoring to work with you, you know that you are special. So Carl Weathers, man, dude rocks. He rocks and rolls. And I would probably give him in this flick a 6 out of 9 for Carl Weathers, but then it becomes a 9 out of 9 when it's oily Carl Weathers. And then it becomes a 10 out of 9 when it's oil Carl Weathers blowing up a Huey Lewis lookalike and then making sure that he likes his ribs. So I got to give him the perfect score on this one. Totally fun. So yeah, I appreciate you having me here, and appreciate you letting me share this time, watch this great movie, and talk some shit about it. So it's great.
No, man, appreciate you hanging out. This will definitely not be the last time we do this. So I am. Ooh,
nice. Hey, I thought your drinks were coming up for a sec, man. Ooh.
No, that part I'll be fine on. Honest, I'm tired. If anything, I'm the last 2 minutes I started feeling it, but dude, no, this will not be the last time you're on there. We definitely gotta do this again. You fit right on in here like a glove. You will come back.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, and then for me, this gets 69 out of 69 Carl Weathers score. I mean, we had him do sky high jumps that Batman and the Shadow could not do. We saw a car crash that went sky high. It's amazing. We got Baby Will Carl Weathers after his shirt was taken off him. We got to see some of the most incredibly cheesiest one-liners. That some of it was even up there with the Running Man. Also, that preaching scene where he breaks the guy's hand with glass in his hand. Ooh, and then it leads to unleashing of ass kicking, and then the car that went up the stairs. Dude, this was Carl Weathers on roids, and our lives are better for it. So if you watch this show and you somehow have not, seen this movie or somehow bought it, fix that now. This is the time of your life, whether it's Blu-ray, DVD, whatever, your choice. But just please do it. It was, we already know my toxic score would be high, my greatness score would be high. That stuff's not relevant. This gets a 69 of a Carl Weathers score. And once again, one last time, I'm very, very, very happy and thankful for the memories that we had with Carl Weathers, whether Happy Gilmore, Action Jackson, the first 4 Rocky movies, Predator. Obviously I saw The Mandalorian season 1 and 2. I didn't watch the third, but every memory they had with him, so on and so forth. Obviously, one of the reasons shows like Toxic Tuesday even exists, because he had vital parts to play in a lot of these great action movies. So I thank him for his legacy, and Godspeed to his family. Seriously. And I'm very thankful for this. And to me, this wasn't a somber moment. This was a celebration moment. I hope everyone felt a little bit of celebration in this show tonight, because that's what this was about, is enjoying these things and not letting it bring us down, but bring us up. So thank you all for listening to us for Toxic Tuesday. Once again, Carl Weathers tribute / Ashton Jackson edition. Next week we will be back properly, this time for sure, with White Men Can't Jump. We were going to do still last week, but obviously events happened, so it changed the story. But next week,
everyone stay healthy this week, please.
Yes. Everyone stay healthy, and that means you, Wesley Snipes. That means you, Woody Harrelson. Don't you go dying on me. Don't you go dying on me. I like you both. So yes, next week, White Men Can't Jump. To all the super chatters, I thank you very, very much for the super chats. Eric K, Pinochet's Helicopter Tours, and I know Radioactive for all the gifted memberships. Thank you. And God, list.
A couple of people bought memberships. I'm trying to remember.
Upgraded, and I know Connie earlier in the show, she became a member as well, which is cool. Connie Cleary, thank you as well. Seriously, I know listeners also get another membership too. So yeah, thank you guys, and hopefully we saw a lot of new faces. Hopefully you liked what you saw. I hope you come back next week for when we talk White Men Can't Jump. Please come back for more, because we do this every Tuesday night after Midnight Edge After Dark, and it's a fun fucking time. Anyways, on my channel coming up, well, I gotta get this idea going of the ripping on Ebert reviews going. So I will get that going ASAP, and whatever comic book video comes my way. And on top of that, I'll be on Midnight's Edge After Dark and Comics Division's Thursday Night Throwdown Thursday night. I'm gonna let these gentlemen plug their plugs really quickly on the back door out. We'll start off with Mark, who came up with all the great clips and visuals, who helped make this show happen, and also suggesting the idea. Sir Mark DUC, you get all the credit and then some. Plug your plug on the way out.
Thank you, appreciate that. But yeah, it was fun to be here. But yeah, it was sucks to be doing this because Carl Weathers passed away. But thank you. Yeah, it's always fun snagging all those clips, and I'm gonna have to charge Gary for that backdoor one. I think. Yeah, just kidding. And with all these new members, Nick, you should have. We could add some more avatars or icons to the chat.
Oh,
Yes,
well, you and I have to get together, and we're
get
going
some
to
new
get
ones. Yeah,
some ideas. Yeah, it's time to upgrade.
Or if anyone in the chat has some ideas for icons. But thank you, RK, for being out there and putting all our channels in. My show was the main show for the week is Sunday Night Geekery, 10 p.m. Eastern. We talk all kinds of pop culture, what's happening in the news. We end up talking about food, and here's some of my barbecue here. And this past weekend, I unfortunately got a little under the weather, so maybe I'll do a special edition of the Geekery during the week because I wanted to do some football tailgating food and things to do for the big game. If you're watching that sports bowl game on is it the Taylor Swift Bowl? I guess it's on this weekend. But
I forgot it was.
Sorry. But so appreciate anyone checking out my channel. I'm also on Thursday night, the Clubhouse with Clobberin Times and Raquel Briggs, and I'm streaming with Clobberin Times all the time during the week, hanging out with him. So and I've check out my channel for 3D printing and videos. Oh, let me put in the if you want to buy a Doomsday Machine from Star Trek, let me put my link in there to that to purchase that. But I do a lot of 3D printing and do commissions, so appreciate anyone checking that out. Now if I can only find the link, here we go. Here's the link for the Doomsday Machine. So appreciate it, and everyone sub to everyone on this panel. We still got over 90 people here. It would be great to have pick a few more subs up. But thank you very much, Nick and gang. It was great hanging out with you guys tonight.
No, good hanging out with you as always, Mark. I swear when I say it, I'm gonna finally revisit the Geekery soon. Okay,
that'd be
I'm
awesome.
overdue for a visit, and it needs to happen again. Me, you, and Clubby. We know out of a good time when it's all three of us on a show, and it's so overdue. It's so overdue. So thanks for everything that you do, sir. All right. Yes, we'll get together soon, and we'll get some ideas going for the next icons. I think we'll have something really huge on our hands.
We got to get a picture of Dolph.
Oh, see, once again, you fucking genius, you fucking genius, Dustin.
Give it up for Mark D with a C for doing all the awesome stuff.
Agree.
Thank you, Dustin.
Yeah, man. Go subscribe to him. Follow Vince Womack's information and smash that like button. I dropped a recipe video today. So if you are interested in the ketogenic lifestyle or just low carb foods in general, I made a modified cauliflower hash brown utilizing a new product. So take a look at that video if you wouldn't mind. I've got lives coming up. Saturday, I have a live with Amanda Decker, who runs Low Carb for Better Health out of Tennessee. That convention, a lot of speakers, presentations, and all that stuff. On Sunday, just hang out with me drinking coffee. Tuesdays with my wife, and more videos on the way. And just thanks so much to Nick for having me every week after week. All you great people in the chat. And one last shout out to Mr. Weathers himself. Rest in peace, good sir.
I agree. Thank you, Dustin. All right. Have a great night, week, and weekend, sir. As always, we will continue to be in touch. Red Shirt, you said you got nothing?
Yeah, about all I can say for this show at this point is rest in peace, Carl Weathers. Thank you for all of the entertainment you've given us and all of the great roles you played. We will remember you for a very long time.
All right. I agree with that. We always will. All right, Kid Sable. I need you to bring Bruce back to us because we got to go.
Hey, get your fat ass in the seat there. All right, get out of my area. Thank you, Kid Sable. No problem. Thank you. Tell your wife to make good pudding. You tell her. Get out of my room. Okay. All right, guys. This channel I've got, it's been around for a few years, but you're more than welcome to be invited to it. If you like miniatures, if you like gaming, Saturdays we do a gaming stream every Saturday right now, and I've got like between 6 and 10 hours per Saturday we put up live. Thursday nights we do a panel of Dungeon Masters. We talk about a different topic every Thursday, and then throughout the rest of the week we got me and Janet on the channel that we talk about movies, a girl, a guy, and a movie. Not really the same type of movies that Nick likes to watch here. We kind of do a bigger variety. Janet has her own picks that she pulls out of the VHS box, and we watch that. We watch those movies on Sunday together in Discord, and then we do the review on Monday, and it's a good family feeling. And Fridays, if you don't mind getting in the mud with politics, I'll get a little bit of mud on your tire with Janet's channel, because she has a Friday night shit show. I'm a regular panelist on there, along with Ruben Christopher Haynes and Orange Hat Reviews. Excuse me. And that's everything we got, Nick. Thank you, sir. This has been an honor and a pleasure.
All right. Awesome, man. No, thanks for being here. Give our friend Kid Sable our thank yous as well. And guys,
we'll
go
bump into him
Bruce. Yeah, I hope we do cross paths again. And Eric, thanks for plugging all the plugs in the chat. Go sub to Bruce's channel here, sir. Thank you. Have a great week, night, weekend, week. I'll see you soon. And of course, last but not least.
Oh shit! Hey, sorry. Yeah, my bad. Hey, once again, Nick, thanks for having me on. On the Gramcast channel, I actually just started today doing Tuesday and Thursday early afternoon live streams. So catch me on Gramcast Live. It was kind of interesting. I had this entire stream planned for today, and then about 45 minutes before I went live, the entire Gina Carano world started crumbling down, and I was like, holy shit, what do we do here? So that was a little bit interesting, but working on, getting some live streams as well as some videos going on. Going to be doing some videos with some very important YouTube personalities, kind of discussing how entertainment feeds into the culture and how culture has been affecting the world of entertainment. In fact, Nick, I know that I sent you a DM not too long ago asking you to pop on there. So that's going to be in the works in the next coming weeks here. So should be some good times ahead. Definitely got some stuff in the pipeline. And, I appreciate, once again, you having me on and everybody here dealing with my bullshit and hanging out and having a good time. So always up for a good one.
No, man, this will definitely be not the last time we do this. And please come back on here soon.
It's a beautiful thing.
We'll have fun, and it will be even more so when you come back.
I can't stop. I never stopped.
I didn't ask for you to stop. That's all of your own doing. Eric K, once again, thank you for plugging the plugs along with Mark. Go sub to Gramcast's channel, guys. Once again, thank you for being here. Next week, White Men Can Jump for the next Toxic Tuesday. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting Toxic Tuesday. You all have a magical, fantastic, stupendous evening filled with splendor.
I'd like to show you something.
The pace when I'm running, I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
ask yourself one question. Do I feel
One last time, rest in peace, Carl Weathers. Thank you very much for all the memories.